What's up, everybody? Hello and welcome to another broadcast of the Dirty Old Bastards Racing League, the 360 Sprint Car Series on twitch.tv/elbowsuptv. We are also live on the DOB Facebook page. We are live on YouTube at the DOB's page, as well as my own personal page here tonight, trying to get everybody involved in what is the top level, the best of the best dirt sprint car racing league on the iRacing simulation. We are here tonight at the virtual Williams Grove Speedway. As always, perfect weather conditions, because it's a computer game. We can set it that way. Not in the night, though. It is dusk here in Mechanicsburg, Pennsylvania. And we are getting ready for two fantastic races here tonight with the Dirty Old Bastards Racing League. Watching hot laps right now. 3 minutes left in hot laps. We do want to talk about the Race 1 Championship before we get going here. How's it going, Shane? Fox? Greg Thielsen giving a shout out to War Faction Esports. Going to be out in force here tonight. But, like we said, Race 1 Championship. Of course, the DOB leagues are split up into two separate championships this season. You have the Race 1 Championship, which starts at 8:30, and the Race 2 Championship, which starts after Race 1. Of course, giving those West Coasters a chance to get home and do a little racing. This is your championship standings for the Race 1 Championship here. As you can see, Swindell Speed Lab driver Adam Elby on top by 51 points over his teammate, James Edens. Dylan Workman, Shea Paulo, and Rusty Kruger rounding out your top five. Shea Paulo actually made a team change here this week. He is now a member of the Elbows Up Sim Sport team. Might seem a little self-serving to announce that here, but still a significant event in Shea's iRacing viewpoint. Getting everything refreshed here with our trading paints here tonight. Watching Mason Hannigan on track right now. Mason sitting third. Quickest in hot laps. Kevin Click, your top guy for Team SETI. James Tiernan second. Weston Newell and Jordan Hack rounding out your top five. Now, before we get into Race 1 qualifications, which should start here in about 1 minute, let's talk about the three-strike system implemented in the Dirty Old Bastards Racing League. The strike system works on a full and half strike system per incident. So, if you do not claim an incident, you can end up with a half strike penalty if you end up in a crash and do not claim the caution. If you are deemed at fault of the incident and if it was avoidable, you will end up with a 1-point penalty. 3 points and you will be sat down for a week. Now, last week we had a little bit of a wild one. One driver was sent home for the entire season, and when you are suspended for the entire season, it is throughout all of the DOB iRacing leagues. Last week we saw Mr. Nygaard have a little bit of a moment in the 410 race number 2, and he was set down for the remainder of the season for said incident, issued an apology himself. But his contact with one of the Swindell Speed Lab drivers was deemed inappropriate, and he admitted fault, that it was on purpose, and that is it for his racing season here with the Dirty Old Bastards Racing League. Right now, nobody in real danger of a 1-week suspension here in the Race 1 Championship. Colton Hardy, John Harper, Danny Lawson, and Kyle Moonen right now, the ones on a single strike. And then it is Kevin Fry, Reese Wilhelm, Cody Downard, let's see, Sean Wallenfels, Jordan Hack, Matthew McKinney, Justin Thomas, Justin Cross, Chad Coate, Kyle Jenkins, Jeff Flaro, Matthew Williams, Jason Nygaard, of course we said he is suspended, Chris Roberts, Justin Erickson, Blake Cannon, Mike Roxbury, Anthony Marvulio, Brian Johnson, Kevin Hanley, and Ernie Williams Jr. are the guys with a half strike at the moment. And that's how the Race 1 Championship is shaping up going into tonight. Kevin Click, not sure if his first lap was invalidated from some contact with the fence, but he's going to cross the line here, see what he's got. 18.576. He is off the gas. That is fifth quick. I do believe lap 1 was invalidated, and that's unfortunate because it was quicker. That was an 18.4 was his first lap. But if you make contact with the wall or get an iRacing X penalty, you will have an invalidated lap, and it will not be able to count for you. Nick Cooper right now is P1. Quick time for Nick Cooper, 18.257. See if we can find out. Dustin Griffiths currently sitting in second place. Jeremy Zarfos bumps himself into the top 5. James Tiernan is out on track at the moment. Looks like he's having a little bit of trouble there on lap 2. 19th place for Tiernan. Weston Newell currently 4th, and that is going to do it. Quick time belonging to Nick Cooper in the 135. Don't want to call that a surprise, but that's the first time we've seen Nick with quick time throughout this season. Mr. Nygaard hanging out in the Facebook chat. Appreciate you being here. Make yourself comfortable. We got a lot of fun coming. We are getting ready for heat race number 1. Five heat races here tonight. Top 4 are inverted from qualifying, so your quick qualifier is Nick Cooper there in 4th. As you can see, he's 35 on the track, 135 in the sim as heat race number 1 begins to roll. Top 4 will advance from this race. It is a 10-lap heat race. Caution flag laps do count in the heat races, but they will not for tonight's feature. So, let's talk about our starting lineup. On the pole in the Wicked Relief Gum, number 31, it is Tyson Landis. And to his outside in the 311, Alex Smolders. Jeremy Zarfos to the inside of row number 2 in that Dave Blaney Racing Sim Team machine. And quick qualifier, Nick Cooper in the 135 to his outside. Colton Hardy and Sean Bowers make up row number 3, with Jonathan Smith and Dylan Workman row number 4. Chris Roberts and Nicholas Cheever row number 5, and rounding out your field is William Duvall and Justin Erickson. As we said, top 4 will advance to the A main, 5th and 6th move to the B main, 7th and 8th to the C, and so forth. Probably will have a D main here tonight. Williams Grove. We talked about the excitement we saw last week. Williams Grove is known to be a track where contact is frequent. So, keep your eye on this race. We will have trouble throughout the night as this track gets slicker. It will create additional challenges for these drivers. We're going to go green for heat race number 1 coming off of turn 4. Tyson Landis with the control, and we are green. Good start for Landis, who gets down into turn number 1 ahead of Zarfos. You can see him slide up the racetrack as Smolders and Cooper look to make a move down the backstretch. Smolders to the race lead on the high side. You see Landis working the bottom. Smolders had a little bit of an issue there through the center, but he's a sitting duck coming off the corner is Landis. As the caution flag waves here early in heat race number 1. Problems for Jonathan Smith. Let's back this up and see what happened to him. 63 car there on the inside makes contact with another machine. And out of the ballpark goes Jonathan Smith on lap number 1. Exits to the pits, and that will be it for his heat race. Tough break there for the 63. See, everything shakes out here. Alex Smolders was able to get around Landis before the caution flag waved. That allowed him to take control of the lead. Erickson up 4 spots to 8th there. Roberts up 2 spots as well. Everybody else right where they started. Trying out the new cameras here at Williams Grove. Williams Grove, of course, a historic half-mile oval, well known for its winged sprint car competition. Got some PA Posse boys here tonight, that Dave Blaney Racing Sim team. So Alex Smolders going to give him green here, coming off of turn number 4, working lap 5. See how quickly the laps wind down when that yellow flag flies. Makes it a lot harder for these guys to climb forward and find themselves in a transfer position. Smolders with control of the race, and he's giving them green. Really good start for Smolders and a bad start for Landis, who is under fire from Zarfos already. He's got Cooper there on his bumper. Zarfos with the slider, leaving just enough room. They're 3 wide down the backstretch. That's not going to work into turn 3. And the caution flag waves once again. Surprisingly, not for the gentlemen who were 3 wide. Might be problems here for our admin-in-chief. See a little bit of an issue there on the start. He's got 1 car right behind him. Goes down into turn number 1. Contact there with the 083. Sends Chris into the fence. And really hard to get straightened out after that. Now let me tell you something, ladies and gentlemen. If you are going to make contact with a car on the track, it is best to not make that car the main admin of the league, who can penalize you so quickly. So, not exactly advised there for Justin Erickson. Obviously not something that he wanted to do, but might have to deal with that one. I got a feeling there's a half strike coming his way, if not a full one. Erickson does claim the caution there, so he will move his way to the rear of the field. I do believe we're going to get this race restarted here. We should get some green flag action here before the 10-lap mark is hit. Line for nachos is long tonight. Yeah, no doubt about it. Them yellow flags gives everybody a chance to run to the concession stand. Heat race number 1 plagued by caution flags. I don't think we've got a full lap in yet. Very, very strange start here to the evening, but we're going to have 2 laps of green flag action to end this one. And I got to say that might be a recipe for some aggressive driving as well, because all of these guys who've been sitting waiting to get going, they know they only have a couple of laps to make any sort of moves to put themselves in the race. And remember, for a guy like Cooper, who was quick time, 1 pass that he makes, if he can get around Zarfos for 3rd, he makes 5 positions up in the feature. So he can start ahead of 5 more cars if he gets a good restart here and makes a position. Smolders gives him green down the front stretch. We're watching Tyson Landis go to the bottom. Here comes Zarfos around the outside, and he's going to bring Cooper with him. Nick Cooper on the outside of the 31, move him into third spot. Now he's going to fight there for second with Zarfos. Landis had to check up to miss him there. That gives Colton Hardy a look for the final transfer spot as the white flag waves. Colton Hardy taking fourth spot away from Landis, moving him into B main territory there. And the Swindell Speed Lab driver moving to the bottom to protect his line, but he runs into Zarfos. He's going to get under Zarfos there for third. Jeremy Zarfos taking the final transfer position as Alex Smolders and Nick Cooper, your top two here in heat race number 1. Sat out this week for that reason, yet. This is one of those tracks, and I got to tell you, Williams Grove is a track where there are guys that are just absolutely amazing here. There are some guys that are so good here at the Grove that you might not see up front in any of the other races, but they get to the Grove and they're rubbing their hands together. They're saying, "Come on, baby, give me some of this one," because this is a track that really lends itself to guys who run a lot of laps here. You want that experience here. Those PA Posse boys, they know it very well, and it plays a part into this deal. And you need a lot of laps here to not find yourself in trouble, man. It's very easy. This paperclip half mile, long straightaways. And let me tell you, when the track gets slick, those straightaways will gain bumps. And you'll be bumping your way down the front straightaway. That car starts hopping around. You come off the corner, and it tries to go to the fence. And, when you get down into the corner, it seems like nothing really wants to hold you there. So it's a tough facility. Now, let me tell you, you see this camera where it's sitting right now. It's sitting at an opening on the backstretch here. We'll see if we can get a good look at it. That opening in the backstretch fence will also try and grab you too. You find a right rear on that bad boy, you're in for a wild ride. So a lot of challenges here for these guys. Braden saying posse in the house. Got a lot of people hanging out with us here on twitch.tv/elbowsuptv and the DOB Facebook chat. Appreciate everybody joining us. Let's talk about the starting lineup. Matthew Williams in the 13 on the pole with the 57 of Anthony Lopresto to his outside. Inside row number 2, it's the Tropical Storm Mason Hannigan in the 22 and Dustin Griffiths in the 82 to his outside. Shea Pallow and Isaiah Dowd make up row number 3 with Bruce Wright the third and Josh Helms row 4. Aaron Schaefer and Garrett Adams row 5, and rounding out your field is Matthew Henninger and Cameron Merriman. 10 laps to distance, top 4 will advance to tonight's A main. We're going green here off of turn number 4. Matthew Williams has control, and he's going to give him green. Late start there for Williams. He made everybody wait for it, but it worked out really well for him. He gets to the high side of the track, and he's got control of the race lead. Dustin Griffith's going to make his way around Mason Hannigan on the outside. Lopresto there in second. You see Williams going to the bottom. Let's see what kind of a run that gives Lopresto down the front. Didn't really give too much away, but we've seen some of those guys struggle there on the bottom because the car tries to slide up into the middle of the track, and the middle of the track off of turn 4 right now is quite dry. This time, top side for Williams here. He's got Lopresto all over his rear bumper, and Dustin Griffiths is working his way to challenge for second spot there on Lopresto, who puts the slide job on Williams, unable to make it stick. Williams gets that spot back, and that opens the door for Griffiths going down into turn number 3. Hannigan and Pallow all right there. Pallow, of course, driving for his new team. He's going to want to make a big splash here tonight. Needs one more spot to find his way into the A feature through the heat. Sitting with Griffiths here. Puts the slider in. He's got to check up there because Williams had a little trouble. Williams is getting off the bottom there in turn 4 really well. You see Shea Pallow working the inside of Hannigan now. He's going to make that pass stick. As the caution flag waves, we got to see if he was around him before the caution flag flew Isaiah Dowd in the pits. We're going to back it up here. See Dowd on the high side of the track, going to make contact with the outside retaining wall and get upside down. You saw Henninger have to pull some evasive maneuvers there to get around him. That is it for Isaiah Dowd here in heat race number 2. So let's reset and find out what is what. Looks like Shea Palo did not get that position around Mason Hannigan. He's going to hate that. You know, as you know, in normal dirt track racing, of course, everybody's familiar with the when the caution flag flies, the running order is reset to the previous lap. That way, there's no question you restart it. Even if you make a pass on the race leader, if the caution flag flies and you don't complete a lap, you're going to go back behind him. In iRacing, when the caution flag flies, the field is frozen. So whatever position you are in is the position you are in. And that can cause issues because if you got a guy who puts a slide job on you going into turn 1, and as you're trying to dip back under him to regain that spot, if the yellow flag flies, he's going to stay in front of you. And that can be really frustrating because you could be making that pass back, and he just put a wild one in there, and he makes it work. Keep an eye on Mr. Cameron Merriman there in 6th spot. He started 12th, dead last in this race, and he is challenging for one of those transfer spots. So let's keep an eye on that car. See the 346 right there. Should be able to keep a wide view here as we go back green. Working lap 8. Matthew Williams out front. Top 4 advance here as the laps wind down. Williams, another late start. You can see everybody getting bottled up back there. I'm going to back it up here because Shea Palo was one of them that had to really lift. Merriman right there to his inside. This is the battle for the final transfer spot. Palo trying to find his way back around the 22 of Hannigan. Merriman working his way from the rear of the field. You can see Palo working the bottom. We got to change for the race lead. Lepresto put a slide job on Williams. Look at him, 3 wide behind. Williams able to get back around Lepresto. Now Shea Palo's got his way around Dustin Griffiths. Griffiths trying to fight back on the inside. Palo in 4th right now. Hannigan under Griffiths. Palo's going to try to dip under both of those drivers. Merriman is blocked in at this moment. Here comes Lepresto again for the race lead. Slider is in, but Williams over the cushion into the fence. The race leader having trouble. Merriman into the 82. White flag's in the air. This is it right here. The 13's got the transfer spot. The 82 wants it. Palo for second. Lepresto's going to win. Palo second. And Williams, from the lead on the final lap, is going to miss the A main and have to compete in the B. Anthony Lepresto, your winner. Shea Palo second. Mason Hannigan third. And Dustin Griffiths getting the final transfer spot in 4th. Fantastic race there. From heat race number 1, where we had so many problems, all of a sudden, we got ourselves a race there in heat 2. Dustin Helms mentions why more people should practice this race. The Grove is definitely a driver's track. That it is. And it's got its own specific style as well. Don't forget the nasty corner gopher. Yeah, you can't forget these, man. This track, it will bite you when it slicks off, man. And it's, you know, the same in all tracks across iRacing on the dirt. As the track dries out, the ruts and bumps develop, and it's just very, very complicated. Nathan Davis, probably one of the better heats I've seen at the Grove. There's no doubt about that. I can tell you, the Williams Grove will either produce great racing or absolutely terrible racing. So the fact that we saw great racing there in heat race number 2 is a positive thing, let me tell you. So let's talk about the lineup here for heat race number 3. Kevin Hanley on the pole in the 110 with John Lowe to the outside in the 20. Team SETI driver Kevin Click inside row number 2 with Trevor Royer to his outside in the Black Diamond Machine. Sean Wallenfels Jr. in the 42 inside row number 3 with Alex Bison to his outside. Bison, of course, had a good run last week. Terrible, terrible luck. Hopefully he can improve that here this week. David Flick and Brian Johnson make up row number 4. Jeff Flaro and Kevin Gunther, row 5. Rounding out your field is Cody Bird and Brett Strickler. You want to talk about one of those guys that's really good at the Grove? That 38 machine right there on the outside. He's one of them. Watch him from the rear of the field. We're going green this time. Kevin Hanley has control. Great start for Hanley. Low, struggling on the outside. He's under fire from Click and Wallenfels already. Click to the high side of the track. Had to check up just a bit. 3 wide once more down the backstretch. Click got a little bit of contact. One car is around. Caution flag will wave. I want to back this up and see what happened to Kevin Click before we find out who brought out the caution. See him on the inside of the racetrack here. Sliding up, nearly making contact with Hanley. That slider worked very well. Low into his rear bumper, which sent him into the 90 of Trevor Royer. Now let's back it up, and we'll take a look at the 56. That's David Flick. To the inside at that checkup. Wow. Looked like he blinked and had an issue. Brett Strickler, an innocent bystander here, as he's working the inside. He makes a little bit of contact there with Jeff Flaro. Man, there's like 3 different crashes in that backstretch. Lap number 1 there. That's definitely a complicated thing. So David Flick and Brett Strickler both relegated to the rear of the field there. Strickler started there, so not too much of a loss for him. But David Flick, I believe, started, 7th in this race? So now he's got a lot more work to do. Kevin Hanley, your race leader. Trevor Royer and Sean Wallenfels up 2 spots. So move Wallenfels into a transfer position, as well as Alex Bison. So big losers there. Kevin Click and John Lowe being knocked out of the transfer spots. But they are the first ones with the opportunity to make their way back in. Going back green this time by, working lap 5 here. Kevin Hanley, your leader. Trevor Royer in second. You see him wait to get to that moisture, and he's going to give the throttle a push. Green flag is out. Royer with a slight blink there. Going to make his way to the top of the track. Doing battle with Sean Wallenfels here. Wallenfels is going to elect to go to the bottom with Royer. Royer, wow, with the late slider there on Hanley, who's able to duck under him. And that pushed Royer up over the cushion there. You saw him making a little bit of contact with the outside retaining wall off of 4. Wallenfels moves to 2nd spot. Kevin Click has gotten around Bison there for 4th. So move Kevin Click back into the transfer positions as the yellow flag flies. We're watching Kevin Gunther here. Problems down the front stretch. He's in the fence. Strickler goes around him, then dives to the bottom of the racetrack, which I don't think Gunther was expecting. And that is what brought out the yellow. I do believe that Mr. Strickler felt like the 116 was not going to be anywhere close after that contact with the fence. But he was right there. So when he went to the bottom of the track, he cut the nose of the 116. Of course, that's another one as well. If you try to enter into turn 1 on the bottom, and you've got a car right behind you, that slowdown. Everybody's got their own little style here at Williams Grove. Some of them guys kind of get into the corners pretty hard. Some of them are lifting early to power off. And that difference in line can cause some serious problems, as you can see right there. So Hanley in the lead. Wallenfels in second. Royer and Click, your top 4. Bison and Low, odd men out right now. We are going to get 1 lap of green here to end heat race number 3. Yeah, it's Williams Grove. That's like saying it's Bristol, baby. You expect this stuff. How's it going, Zardul? So, 4 corners to decide who's going to the A main and who isn't. Right now, Kevin Hanley leading this race. The winner of this race will start inside row number 2, so that's an excellent starting spot for tonight's feature event. Hanley wants to hold it, but Wallenfels wants it. A little bit of a different line here through turn 4 for Hanley. See if he dips back to the bottom before giving him green. He does. Got a really good start there. Decent jump on the 42 of Wallenfels, who's going to follow him on the bottom. Kevin Click not subscribing to that line. He goes to the outside. Hanley has got the lead. Wallenfels second. Here comes Royer in behind the 42. Kevin Click on the high side. You see Faro into the fence behind them. Battling out to the finish. Hanley, to believe, Wallenfels, then Royer, and Kevin Click, your top 4 here in heat race number 3. Jeff pointing out his normal good luck at Williams Grove. Hope he hasn't jinxed himself here. I think it's what, heat race number 5 for Jeff tonight? We are starting with heat race number 4 now. I want to thank Impact, Sir Crazy Beard, Big Z888. Thank you for the host, my friend. Appreciate that. Fungus Humongous, thank you for the follow. Got a lot of people hanging out. We appreciate that. Elbows Up TV live every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday night with DOB dirt racing action. We do the DOB 360 series on Tuesday night starting at 8:30. Wednesday nights start at 9 p.m. Eastern Time with the midget series, and then we go to the non-wing sprint car 360s after that midget race. And on Thursday night, we start at 9 p.m. Eastern Time with the DOB 410 series. Anybody not familiar with the Dirty Old Bastards League? This is one of the top, and I believe the top, dirt racing league in iRacing. Pro level. All the pro teams participate. And it boasts racing action that you just don't get anywhere else. And you'll notice that track gets slicker and slicker as we go. The DOB does not reset their tracks, so that makes it very challenging for these drivers. On the pole in the 98, it is James Tiernan, and to his outside in the 52, Tyler Chalk. Billy Rowley and Weston Newell making a Team SETI sandwich there in row number 2 with Dustin Sargent and Nathan Kropaszewski, row 3. Ernie Williams Jr., Brandon Igo, Gregory Tilson, Kyle Jenkins, Dalton Hughes, and Peyton Grease rounding out your field. Peyton pretty good here as well. Likes that bottom around Williams Grove. We'll see if he can make any positions up. We're going green this time with the Elbows Up Sim Sport driver, Tiernan. Good jump down the front. Billy Rowley getting a pretty good run there, too. We'll see what he does. He's going to dive down with the big slider on Tiernan in turn 1. And Tiernan is around. No caution. Looking a little farther back. Tyler Chalk, a little crossed up. Caution flag waves now. Let's first back up and watch that start. You can see Rowley, I don't think he expected that slide job to work so effectively. Slid up in front of the 98. Tiernan had nowhere to go. You can see it straightened him out, so that's why there was no caution, but ahead of him, goodness gracious, let's back that up just a touch. You can see the 246 and Kropaszewski getting stuck together there. They make contact with, who is that? That's Igo, before Peyton Grease runs up on the entire mess and ends up backwards. So let's see here. Take a look here. Billy Rowley, your current race leader, he did not bring out the caution with that contact with James Tiernan, so there's no reason for him to claim the caution. Ernie Williams Jr. up 5 spots in that Black Diamond machine. Weston Newell in 3rd. Tyler Chalk currently holding the final transfer spot. Brandon Igo up 3 spots there, though. Rowley should be given an EOL. Well, that's where the strike system comes into play. There was no caution caused, so the DOB has a claim a caution rule. So if you feel like you're at fault for the caution, you claim it. You go to the rear of the field. You know, it's one of those things. I know Rowley and Tiernan are really good friends, so I'm sure he didn't mean to do that. And I'm looking at that slide job. He looked like he cleared him. It just cleared him late. And I tell you, the DOB admins, when they look at it, because they will, and I would bet he's in for at least a half strike on that. They will take a look at the single monitor system to see if Tiernan was able to see him in enough time to make a move. And if not, he will be penalized. Billy Rowley brings them down. The race lead got a pretty good jump there. Ernie Williams Jr. in 2nd, working the high side there with Weston Newell right on his back bumper. See where Rowley goes down into 3. He's going to head to the middle of the racetrack. A little loose there going in. Weston Newell on the bottom is going to take that spot away from the 91. Ooh, problems in the back. Kyle Jenkins sideways for a moment. Looks like he's able to clear that. See him racing with James Tiernan, who was back up to 7th, now in 8th. Out front, the 79 on the bottom doing quite well, but you saw Williams get a big run down the front stretch there. Got around Weston Newell. Caution flag waves. I do believe that little battle we saw between Jenkins and Tiernan had additional issues. Let's back it up. Goodness gracious. Not a super happy heat race here for James Tiernan, who started this one on the pole. See him to the outside. A little bit of contact there with Jenkins. Big contact with Jenkins going into turn 3. Hughes had nowhere to go. Not ideal. Not ideal. I do believe this race is going to get 1 lap restarted. Gonna have to see how it all shakes out. See Weston Newell holding down 3rd. Tyler Chalk still in 4th ahead of Brandon Igo. Yeah, Tiernan, Tiernan's known for his aggression too, so it's a little surprising to see him getting beat around, but not the way he wanted this race to go, that's for sure. Lights out on the pace track. We're going to have 1 lap of green flag racing action to end heat race number 4. I kind of want to see this in a different light here. Let's go on board with Ernie Williams Jr. on the restart here. See if he is able to do anything with Billy Rowley. He's only got 4 corners to do it. On board with the Black Diamond number 91. See Rowley head to the bottom of the track to get his right rear in that moisture, and he gives them green. Williams to the top side of the track. He's got Newell to the inside. Rowley down there as well. Can he get a run down the front? Billy Rowley in the 79 is going to take victory. Ernie Williams Jr. 2nd, Weston Newell 3rd, and Tyler Chalk will gain the final transfer spot in fourth. Final heat race of race number 1. Loading up now. Appreciate everybody hanging out with us. We are live on twitch.tv/elbowsuptv, as well as the DOB Facebook page and YouTube page, and my Facebook page as well tonight. These are interactive streams. We encourage you to participate in the chat. We got a lot of people chatting out there tonight. Max Paquette actually not making the call for the race here, which moves Jordan Hack up into a transfer spot to the outside of row number 2. But on the pole, in the 26, it is Scotty Edwards, and to his outside in the 95, Dakota Kuhn. Ryan Scheidt and Jordan Hack, row number 2, with John Bragman and Mike Roxbury, row number 3. Kyle Sargent and Tim Sims 2, row number 4. And rounding out your field, in the 50, Bo Brunig and Jason Randolph. Randolph, another one of those quick drivers. We're seeing those guys that didn't qualify starting in the rear of the heat race. As long as they get some green flag laps, we've seen guys be able to make those passes work. But as soon as those yellows start coming, makes it a little more complicated. Scotty Edwards with control. Trying to slow down this start. You saw it stack up in the back a little bit. Everybody's straight. Scotty Edwards to the outside in front of Dakota Kuhn. Kuhn's got a pretty good run on him there. We'll see if he dips to the bottom here. To the middle of the track goes Kuhn. Edwards into the cushion and a little sideways. He's going to dive down, losing the race lead and second spot. Ryan Scheidt into second. Right now, Jordan Hack holding on to the final transfer spot. He has got Roxbury right behind him, waiting for a mistake here. Roxbury to the high side of the racetrack. See Hack working the bottom. Change for the race lead as we're watching the battle for the transfer spot. Ryan Scheidt making his way around Scotty Edwards. Now, Kuhn was the driver he went around, but Dakota Kuhn is sticking with that 010 before he hits the fence. 95 able to regain control, but he lost a lot of time to the race leader, and that drops him back into the clutches of third place Jordan Hack, who is making his way forward in this race. See those cars starting to get a little shaky down the front stretch. Here comes Roxbury with the slider there for the final transfer spot. He's unable to get it around Edwards, who has an excellent run on the outside of the track. That's the battle for third. We're taking 4 of these drivers on to the A main. Contact there. Trying to find out who that yellow car is. We got a lot of new participants here tonight. Roxbury was the man who made contact with him, which slowed him up a little bit. Lost a lot of time there, but he's trying to regain his composure. That's Kyle Sargent, who he made contact with, and the caution flag waves here on lap 7. Bo Brunig in the pits. Back it up here. Coming off of turn 2. Ooh, that car turned completely in the wrong direction. And that is going to end his heat race. Might end the heat race in general. We might get one lap out of this bad boy. See what we can do here. James the Pincushion Tiernan today. James in the chat asking for a little help. Weston congratulating Billy. Fair and square win for Mr. Rowley, but I'm sure he's sick about that contact with Tiernan on the slide job. Mike Roxbury up 3 spots. You see Jason Randolph up 4 spots. I'm sure he is super excited about that caution. Stacking these cars up, giving him a shot to make a few more positions here. Currently running in 7th is Randolph. So that will put him in position for the C main. So 1 position will move him from the C to the B. 2 positions will move him forward in the B main. So still very important for him to get spots, even if he can't make his way into 4th, which is currently held by Jordan Hack in the 39. But we are going to go back green. Ryan Scheidt in the race lead. Dakota Kuhn now right on his back bumper once more. We'll see if the 95 can get a good start. Wow, problems for Roxbury. We're going to go back and watch that. He's lost. Oh, Jordan Hack now with the right rear from the 616 Tim Sims 2. White flag is out. We're going to race to the end right now. 4th spot belongs to Scotty Edwards. No, that's 3rd. So that's going to put Kyle Sargent in 4th across the line, who's going to make his way into the A main. Big changes there in the final lap as Roxbury had issues, and Hack, with his contact, looks like Randolph got some of that as well. Really costing those guys late in that race. You know what? Peyton brings up a good point, actually, in chat. Give Billy a break. He is on a backup pair of glasses. That's true. Now, I do have to say I've known Billy Rowley for about 16 years, and his backup pair of glasses, I can guarantee you, is full of scratches. Because normally his primary glasses are full of scratches. But he is dealing with a vision problem at the moment. Said he was probably going to run race 1 here tonight and then come into the booth with me for race 2 because he doesn't want to strain his eyes too much. I'm sure Billy's not going to blame sight on that. And he did bring it home for a heat race win. Probably using a monocle. Weston, so proper, giving Billy more class than he's ever had his entire life. So, here we go. D main, top 4 will advance to the C. We're getting ready to run the alphabet soup, and on the pole, we saw him have a little trouble in heat race number 5. It is the 047 of Jason Randolph, and to his outside in the 93, it's Chris Roberts. Bruce Wright III and Cody Bird make up row number 2, with Gregory Tilson and Bo Brunig row 3. Justin Erickson and Garrett Adams row number 4, with Kevin Gunther and Dalton Hughes row 5. Rounding out your field, it is Nathan Kropaszewski, Jonathan Smith, and John Lowe. A couple guys not making it there, Isaiah Drought and Maxim Paquette. Unable to make the call here for the D main. 10 laps, ladies and gentlemen. Top 4 will continue. Everybody else has to wait until race number 2 because they will be going home in the race 1 competition. Hey, Trey, how's it going? We're going green here for the D main. Really good start for Roberts, who's able to stay level with Randolph. Randolph going to put the slider line to use. He's going to slide in front of the 93. Roberts going to try to dip back under him. 3rd place right now belonging to the 920 of Bruce Wright. He's got the 106 of Cody Bird behind him. Here comes Brunig. Contact there between the 50 and big contact down the front straightaway. You saw Jonathan Lowe high in the air. Caution flag does wave. Let's back this up. It starts here with the 50. who's got a pretty good run down the backstretch. He's going to get around the 148 of Thielsen. Going through the middle, looks like Thielsen makes a little bit of contact, and that pushes the 50 up into the 126, and then everybody just piles in from there. Big, big problems for Lowe, who I'm sure is going to, yeah, he's already in the pits. Jonathan Smith in the pits as well. So plenty of cars finding trouble on lap number 1 of the D main. And while we were watching that, Christopher Roberts made his way around Jason Randolph for the race lead. Garrett Felton mentioning big league to have so many cars per heat. It is the biggest. This is the biggest league for dirt sprint car racing on the iRacing sim. 60 cars in this lobby, and that is the max. They fill it up. Plenty of guys don't even get to run if they don't get there on time. Lowe being airlifted out. First annual John Lowe Memorial Race coming up later tonight. Kropaszewski, your big winner there from that contact. He's up 6 spots. Thielsen holds on to the transfer spot right now. He's able to get his way around Bird. Roberts and Randolph, your top 2. Seen a lot of caution flag laps. I don't want to say too many aggressive maneuvers, but we've seen some mistakes. You see how the middle of the track there is quite slick. Guys trying to find the bottom or the top or using that slider line. And it's just so hard with this paperclip track, man. You get down into these corners, and the multiple lines that can be chosen, it's just caught by surprise. Some of these guys are caught by surprise on where those cars are going. Chris Roberts giving him green here off of turn number 4. He goes fairly early on that moisture that we've seen guys waiting for. That caught Jason Randolph off guard, who holds on to second spot right now. Bruce Wright in third, working the bottom of the track right now. His teammate Thielsen holding on to 4th spot ahead of the 106 of Cody Bird. Thielsen now coming up to the back of Wright. Problems farther back in the field. I do believe he got that car straightened out. Don't think we're going to go yellow, so we're going to stay right here for the battle for third, where Thielsen is going to take it off of Wright. Cody Bird made some contact there. He lost a spot to the 116 of Kevin Gunther, who's up to 5th, and the caution flag waves because I do believe that contact turned somebody around on the backstretch. Who was ahead of him? Saw Bird there having trouble on the front stretch. That's where he lost some spots. That is the 727 of Dalton Hughes. Big contact there as those two cars got hooked. Justin Erickson is the other car involved. Both of those guys out. We'll get back out front here. Lights still on the pace track, so with this race is over. Christopher Roberts is going to take victory here in the D main. Jason Randolph in second. Third place, Gregory Thielsen. And fourth place, Bruce Wright the third, will transfer here. A lot of talk in the chat right now. G-Sub, this is iRacing, the simulation. Yeah, Weston mentioning that they're going to have to take a pause before the C main. Both ambulances are off to the hospital, and of course Lowe was airlifted out, so serious issues here in the D main. G-Sub, this is a subscription-based model that you can get with iRacing. And actually, my friend, I've got some cards that would give you a free 3 months, new customers. Anybody new customers want to get involved in iRacing, I've got some codes. Hit me up on Facebook or Twitch as well, and I can set you up with some codes to get you a free 3 months for new customers only, however. So there you have it, checkered and caution flag in the air. Chris Roberts going to take the D main, Jason Randolph in second, Gregory Tilson and Bruce Wright the third. All moving on. Zardul said, watch the 132 in the C main. He's going for the win. Yeah, Tim, we've killed a handful of guys here tonight so far, and I don't think that's going to stop anytime soon, to be honest with you. So the C main hitting the track now. 12 laps the distance here in the C. Top 4 advance once again. Yeah, this is the premier simulation racing game there is. You know, a lot of professional drivers will use this as a tune-up for racing weekends, learning tracks, things like that. You have all sorts of racing disciplines on iRacing, anything from Formula One, every form of NASCAR, dirt sprint cars, pavement sprint cars, dirt late models, pavement late models, IndyCar. They got rally racing now, off-road trucks. I mean, anything you can think of, if it's got 4 wheels and they race it, it's on iRacing, and it's fantastic. It doesn't take a whole lot of computing power, to be honest. You need a good graphics card, and you can do it. But yeah, definitely worth getting into for any auto racing enthusiast, no doubt about it. So, starting lineup here for the C main on the pole in the 300. It is Jeff Flaro, and to his outside in the 292, Peyton Grease. Jordan Hack had a transfer spot in his heat race before a final lap contact took him out. He starts inside row 2 with Nicholas Cheever in the 011. Aaron Schaefer and Brian Johnson row 3. James Tiernan, who started pole of his heat and got beat around, starts inside row 4 with John Bragman. William Duvall the second, and Matthew Henninger row 5. And rounding out your field is the 67 of Brandon Igo, Christopher Roberts, Jason Randolph, Gregory Tilson, and Bruce Wright the third. Your D main drivers who advanced to do battle here. 12 laps the distance, top 4 will advance. Jeff Flaro has control. He gives them green early. Caught Peyton Grease by surprise. You can see he's under fire from third place. Hack goes to the bottom. Caution flag already waves with some sort of issue down the front straightaway. Let's see if we can find it. Brett Strickler unable to make the call here in this race, which is unfortunate because Brett's very good at Williams Grove. Going to take a look here. Nicholas Cheever is currently in the pits. Oh, my goodness, yes. Oh, wow, James Tiernan. Can't buy one here today. Let's go on board here with the 98 and watch this unfold. What do you do, ladies and gentlemen? What do you do? So many cars involved in this crash. Let's back it up. We'll see Aaron Schaefer here. The 77, you see him on the bottom of the racetrack. Things will start happening. Looks like Johnson coming across the track, making contact with Schaefer. Plenty of guys with nowhere to go. Yeah, the 121 of Brian Johnson and Schaefer is where that entire incident started. A lot of fast cars to the back now. Cheever, who started 4th, Schaefer 5th, Johnson 6th. All of those guys relegated to the back. James Tiernan, who started 7th, is out of this race. Not a great race 1 for James Tiernan. He's not going to be happy with that at all, but we do have race 2 where he is high in the championship standings. So maybe he will have better luck there. William Duvall, big winner there in that incident. Up 5 spots into the transfer spot. He said it in chat too. Zardul the Great doing work out there. Chris Roberts up 7 spots. Keep an eye on him. He's going to try to battle for this one. We're going green this time, working lap 5. Jeff Floro making it happen. Peyton Grease got a decent start there. Floro with a much better start. Jordan Hack to the high side of the track is going to try to get a big run here off of turn 2 and make some moves. Not going to happen. William Duvall in 4th, holding on. He's working the high side of the track. Ooh, he gets way sideways there. That gives Roberts the look on the inside. Move Christopher Roberts to 4th spot. Final transfer there. He's not happy with that, however. He's going on Floro there to the inside. Peyton Grease currently leading this race, and the caution flag flies. Before we find the yellow, let's back it up and see what happened for the race lead here. Wow, Grease got him all the way down into 3 as we were watching that battle. So go back to live, see if we can find out what happened. See damage to the front of Thielson's car. So we will stick with him in the 148 to the inside of Randolph there. He's got Igo and Henninger in front of him, and he comes off the corner, makes contact with the 047, and that loops him around on the front. Yeah, Cole, this is race 1. Still got plenty of time to participate tonight, my friend. Fair number of cautions, making us go longer here than what we initially expected, but we're hanging out all night. Top 10 right now, Peyton Grease, your race leader. Jordan Hack in 2nd. Floro down 2 spots in 3rd. Still in a transfer position. Chris Roberts, your D main winner, currently in 4th. He's got a spot to move on. We're going green next time by 3 racing laps here to end the C main. GS Sub 123, thank you for the follow, my friend. Peyton Grease going to give him green here. See, he's wasting no time bringing him down at an accelerated pace. As soon as he gets to the moisture, he get on the throttle. See Floro there putting the block on Roberts there. But he's going to get sideways there coming off of turn number 2. That opens the door for the 93. And now, he's the man in the final transfer spot that everybody's gunning for. Right now in the 132 in 5th, it's William Duvall II. John Bragman makes his way forward in that 17. You see Floro trying everything that he can, making some adjustments to that racing line. Find a little bit of traction to hold on to that final transfer. Peyton out front. Roberts has made his way into 2nd. Problems for Igo and Duvall. White flag is out. There's not going to be a caution, so we're going to stick with Floro here for the final transfer spot. He's got Bragman behind him. Matthew Henninger also making his way forward. Bragman to the top. through the middle, actually, here. Peyton Grease is going to win. Second place to Chris Roberts. Third place, Jordan Hack. And Jeff Floro holds on to fourth to transfer on to the B main. John Bragman, odd man out there. One of those involved in the lap 1 caution. So a rough race for him. And his race 1 night is over. We do have a complete second race on the way after we get done with tonight's A main for the Race 1 championship. I want to check and make sure that it is 35 laps here tonight. 30 laps. That's good to know. It would be really silly for me to be sitting here telling you guys that we got a 30-lap feature when it's actually 35. And I say silly, what I mean is stupid. I would be an idiot. Tonight's B main rolling off now. You pick the car sub and then you can design it. You can also pay graphic designers to design you something that looks fantastic, like that 31 Wicked Relief gum with CBD machine. Starting on the pole, Tyson Landis here tonight for Team SETI. Matthew Williams was very quick in his heat race, had some trouble there. Going to start outside row number 1, and row 2 belongs to the 313 of Alex Bison and the 221 of Kyle Jenkins. Mike Roxbury and Dylan Workman, row 3. John Helms and David Flick, row 4. Dustin Sargent and Tim Sims, 2, row 5. Sean Bowers and Cameron Merriman, row 6. Keep an eye on Merriman. He came through the field and had issues there that kept him out of the transfer spots. And then we have our drivers from the C main, Peyton Grease, Chris Roberts, Jordan Heck, and Jeff Floro. Roberts, of course, came through the D to make his way here tonight. Landis going to give these boys green. He started on the pole in his heat race. Had some problems, dropped back. He's going to want to stay out front this time, but he's got a lot of fast drivers behind him. We're going green for 14 laps, top 4 advance. Here we go. Great start for Landis. Look at that gap here. Alex Bison to the inside of the 13. Ooh, Landis problems through the slick, and he's turned around. Caution flag waves. Goodness gracious, you can see Bison, Grease upside down. Now Landis stuck together with the 199. Holy moly. Let's back this up. You can see Landis goes through the slick and loses it. Bison nowhere to go. Turns him around. Roxbury, Workman, all involved. Bison started this race in 3rd. He is out. Jenkins is out. Peyton Grease out. Get back to live here. Do believe Landis is still on the racing surface. Matthew Williams inherits the race lead. Roxbury, Workman, and Helms, your top 4. Tim Sims, 2, is the man up 4 spots. Outside looking in right now. Yeah, Jeff, you might just want to not do any more curses here tonight. A lot of caution flag laps. We'll have that at Williams Grove. We saw some great racing, too. Heat race number 2 was fantastic. Garrett Felton rooting for the pace truck. I mean, we've seen it cross the line first in a couple heat races here tonight. Not sure what old Jeff Flaro's doing. Got a little damage there to the front. Maybe just letting these guys know that he is around. Actually, one lap down is Flaro. Don't believe he's going to be earning a wave around. Going to hit the pits, I do believe, because we're going green this time by. Williams has control of the field. Kind of spread out, unaware. Watch him go down into turn 1 here. Workman in third. You saw those guys trying to close the gap there. A couple of those guys weren't ready for that restart. Everybody on the bottom right now. Roxbury slides up the racetrack. That gives Workman a shot. Gains control of second spot. Now he sets his sights on that 13. But you saw Roxbury on the high side. Go! And Roxbury into turn 3. Into the back of Workman. Caution flag is out. We were talking about that run that Roxbury had coming out of 2. You can see him coming on the outside. Workman works the middle. And as he pitches the car through the slick, the 403 of Roxbury was looking to get to the high side of the track. And those two cars come together. Right now, Dylan Workman being scored in 5th place. He was running in 2nd when that contact occurred. So he's not out of this yet. Look at Chris Roberts up 11 spots. He come from the D main, ladies and gentlemen. Right now in a transfer spot to make his way all the way to the A. Alphabet soup, no problem for Chris Roberts here tonight. He's still got some work to do, but he's doing quite well so far. Matthew Williams, your race leader. John Helms in 2nd. Chris Roberts 3rd, and 4th place belongs to Dustin Sargent. Workman's going to want to get that transfer spot back. We're going to go back green, running lap 10. So still a handful of laps here for these guys to work with. Lap A main coming up shortly. We're going green this time. Williams going to bring them down off of turn number 4. Everybody in line this time, knowing that this is probably the last restart of this race. Great start for Williams. Workman on the bottom. You saw the 246 go to the top. Here comes Merriman. Merriman's got around Workman, and now trying to take over 4th spot. He's got control of it right now, working the middle of the track. You see Williams falling back into the clutches of the 21. That's Helms. Roberts trying to make his way around on the bottom. Merriman to the outside. Big run. He's got a lift there to make sure he doesn't run into the back of Helms. But the high side working really well for Merriman. And 3 wide through turn 4. Here comes Merriman to the race lead. Contact with Helms and Williams. Oh, my goodness. Roberts, too. Oh, this is terrible. Oh, it makes me sick. Let's get another look at this. Try to get a different TV camera. You can see them. They're 4 wide coming off of the corner down the front stretch. Merriman come off the cushion. We talked about that exit of turn 4 when the track slicks off. It gets really rough. And I do believe Merriman came off the cushion on one of those bumps. And let's get in the cockpit with Merriman, actually. We will back it up. You see him through turn 4 here. He's got the big run. Well, let me back that up one more time, because it looks to me like he stays on the high side pretty well. And you can see the 21 working the second to bottom lane, and he comes up the racetrack. There's no fault there for Merriman. I'm sorry. He never left the top lane. I'm glad we went to the in car there. You know, those guys were 3 wide below him. Back to live here. Wow, look at this. This is interesting here. Because of when the caution flag waved, that changed the running order. Christopher Roberts, Williams, both of those drivers were able to recover. The yellow flag waved when they were still in their spots, and they got their spots back. You can see Roberts has all kinds of damage, but he's going to finish this race in second. The one man that didn't get that lucky break was the 21 of Helms. He is out of this race. So Merriman, Roberts, Williams, and Workman going to be your guys that transfer through to the A main. Wow, that is crazy. Roberts all the way from the D main, working through the alphabet soup quite well. But I did not expect those guys to get their spots back. That's what we talked about, where that yellow flag waves. Wow. Felton says his wife's going to buy him a new rig. Heck yeah. Got to keep her there. So here we go, 2-minute warm-up. Ladies and gentlemen, Wicked Relief Gum is your daily dose of CBD in the form of a chew. Each piece is 10 milligrams of CBD and absorbs 5 times faster than other products. Whether it's pain, inflammation, anxiety, or insomnia, Wicked Relief Gum offers quick and easy relief. Just go to wickedgumcbd.com and use code DOBRL for 10% off your order and free shipping on race days. The DOBRL code also works on wickedenergygum.com for a boost of energy and focuses as well. And remember, when you buy Wicked Energy Gum, they make a donation to the Cognitive Warriors Foundation, which focuses on improving access to quality health care for active and former U.S. military men and women who suffer from depression and PTSD. These are the guys making our broadcasts possible, so we appreciate everybody who goes to these websites and supports us and them by buying their products. And it is excellent products. I tell you, I've not been a CBD guy until I got some Wicked Relief Gum in the mail, tried it out, and let me tell you as well, you think, man, that probably tastes terrible. That is excellent tasting gum. Absolutely fantastic. So we are on track right now with the 2-minute warm-up, which is finishing up this very moment. Nick Cooper in the 135, quickest again. He made his way into this race. Was quick time tonight. Ryan Scheidt second. Third place, Ernie Williams Jr. Your top 3 in warm-up there. There you go, Garrett Felton. For the vets, he's a vet himself. So here we go, ladies and gentlemen. We're getting lined up for tonight's 30-lap A main feature here. We've had quite an interesting evening so far. Plenty of contact and caution flags. But it is time to settle it. Currently Currently waiting on Alex Smolders, who is the pole sitter. And not unable to make the call. We've seen, this is a bug. This has got to be a bug, right? We've seen all kinds of guys who are sitting on the pole, unable to load up in the race. Alex Smolders, I know he was there ready. There's something wrong. iRacing, you got to look into that for us, because we've been having a lot of guys who are sitting on the pole and end up missing the race. That's going to move Kevin Hanley up a row onto the pole. And to his outside in the 57, it's Anthony Lepresto. Ryan Scheidt, one of the quickest cars in practice, moves up to row number 2 with Billy Rowley in the 79 to the outside. Nick Cooper and Shea Paolo, Sean Wallenfels Jr., Ernie Williams Jr., Dakota Kuhn, Colton Hardy, Mason Hannigan, Weston Newell, Scotty Edwards, Jeremy Zarfos and Dustin Griffiths, Kevin Click, Kyle Sargent, Cameron Merriman, Chris Roberts, Matthew Williams, and Dylan Workman, rounding out your field. So Kevin Hanley is going to lead us down. No Alex Smolders, so only 23 cars on track. Actually, Trevor Royer and Tyler Chalk also not in this lineup as well. So we've only got 21 cars on track. 30 laps to distance. We're going green this time by. Hanley has control of the race. We're going to see who can take it here. Green flag is out. DOB 360 Sprint Car Series is live. Oh, problems for the second place car of Lepresto. He gets into the corner before contact there with Ryan Scheidt. He's on his side and unable to get that car turned over. That is going to be it for the 57 of Lepresto. Still trying to get that thing going. Let's get an instant replay here. You can see Lepresto get into the corner. He gets in on the slick. And Scheidt, with a better run, turning him over. Now also, looked like Billy Rowley. He got upside down as well. Watch the 79. Those two cars collect him. Contact with the 42. And then, yeah, Merriman deals the final blow, getting Rowley upside down. Looked like Merriman tried to flip him back over, but it was not to be. Billy Rowley out of this race as well with Lepresto. Wild start to this race here. Ryan Scheidt, the man who made contact with Lepresto, claiming the caution. He has taken his end-of-line penalty and moved to the rear of the field. I think that's a little bit unfortunate for Ryan, because I don't believe that he really felt like Lepresto was going to be that slow going into turn 1. Scheidt was on the cushion. Seemed like Lepresto was just a bit under, got into the slick, spun the tires, and all of a sudden Scheidt was going a lot faster than that car. And that's where the contact come from. So very, very unfortunate start to this race. Let's take a look at the top 10. We're going green next time by. Kevin Hanley, your race leader. Shea Paolo in second, sporting his new ride, 5 spots up. Ernie Williams Jr. up 6 spots. Cooper and Wallenfels rounding out your field. Billy Rowley, karma for killing James. Yeah, that's really, really unfortunate start. A lot of fast cars getting early trouble there. Very, very unfortunate. We're going back green this time. White flag lap moves to lap 33. Kevin Hanley has control once more. Shea Paolo now right on his rear bumper. We're green. Not a great start for Paolo there. He goes to the bottom of the track. Ernie Williams to the top. You can see Paolo trying to hold it. They're going to go side by side down the backstretch. The 35 right behind him. That's Nick Cooper, who makes contact with Ernie Williams. The same thing. Same thing that we saw there. Williams able to control it. So no caution, but he's moving back spots. He's probably not too happy with Cooper. You can see him fighting real hard trying to get everything back. Hanley still your race leader. Dakota Kuhn having a little bit of an issue there on the cushion. That means Williams is going to have to lift just for a moment. This track is going to get complicated. It's slick. It's going to get bumpy. It's already bumpy, I can tell. You see out front, those guys. Caution flag waves. Try to find out who that belongs to. Ooh, yeah. Kyle Sargent there on the back stretch. See if we can back it up and see. He's going to come out of turn 2 here. Slides down the racetrack and makes contact with Workman, who spins. He tries to collect it, unable to do so, and then contact with Ryan Scheidt turns him over and out of this race. Workman was able to collect himself. That was just the slick track causing issues. He came down the track, unable to control it across the nose of somebody else. And that's what we've seen, man. This track has caused issues for so many of these guys here tonight. DOB does not reset their racetrack, so all kinds of complicated challenges for these guys. They got the slick through the middle and on the bottom. Bottom line is working. I don't know that it's as good as the top right now. Top line is quite bumpy, but there's still moisture there. Hanley out front, Paolo, Wallenfels, Hardy, and Cooper. Your top 5. Weston Newell and Jeremy Zarfos working their way forward in this race. Going green next time by. Lap 36 becomes the white flag lap. Caution flag laps do not count in DOB competition. Now remember, Williams Grove is a track that uses a lot of fuel as well. If these guys were cutting corners on racing fuel going into this race, which they will do because you want to take as little fuel as possible, that reduces the weight of the car, makes you faster in certain circumstances. But if those guys cut corners, we could see some guys run into fuel problems here tonight if we have a lot of cautions. Hanley out front. Paolo in second. We are restarting once more. Paolo with a better start. It was Wallenfels who had an issue there, getting out of turn 4. Wallenfels working the bottom. That opens the door for Colton Hardy on the outside. You see the 152 trying to do battle. 5th place right now belongs to Nick Cooper. We've got an issue there with Wallenfels. Looking at the running order, I missed it completely, actually, but we're not going to rewind it. You saw it. No caution on the track. Mason Hannigan up here doing battle. Kevin Click into the fence. He's able to control it. See Zarfos there on the inside in the 19. A Dave Blaney Racing Machine wanting to have a good night here tonight. Shea Paolo dropped back to 4th spot here. Dakota Kuhn has made his way around, as well as the 152 of Colton Hardy. Hanley building a gap out front. Paolo still working the bottom. He's able to pull level there with Kuhn before Kuhn got a big run down the back straightaway. Ernie Williams Jr. in the 91 making his way back forward after that early contact. Ernie is one of those guys. He likes the top side of the track. He runs a heavy and rough cushion very, very well. One of the best, no doubt about it. A lot of green flag laps being put together right now. You see Zarfos trying to insert himself in this battle. Kuhn and Paolo still fighting. This is the battle for 3rd spot right now. 5 guys all right there. You can see behind him Hannigan, Roberts, who made his way from the D main. Roberts is currently in 10th right now, fighting it out with Hannigan and Click. One of the lone guys running the middle of the racetrack right now, trying to find whatever moisture he can right there. Lane off the bottom. You see Click back into the fence once more. He slides around, nearly making contact with Cooper, but he's able to hold it together. Back forward once again. Paolo still working the bottom of the racetrack, trying to find his way around Kuhn. Kuhn in the middle. Colton Hardy now starting to mount a challenge. Hanley has backed up to the 152. Both of these guys working the high side down there in 1 and 2. Then Hanley has been running the bottom. Let's see what he does now. Right there through the middle. Hardy on the rough cushion. You can see him really struggling with that. Losing a lot of time there. Backs up into this battle for third. A lot of fast cars, all stacked on top of each other here. We had 2 early cautions, but now we've been green flagged for about 10 laps straight. We are going to lap 36, which is when the white flag will fly, and the race will end on lap 37. So we still got plenty of time here. See these guys doing battle. I want to hop on board here with Ernie Williams Jr. He was running second early in this race before contact knocked him a little farther back. Listen to that throttle control. And caution flag waves. You heard him really working the throttle there through that slick. We'll get back to it. I want to see here if we can find the reason for the caution. And we have found it. That's for sure. Cameron Merriman got into the fence there in 1 and 2. That is the 26 who ended up. Scotty Edwards there who ran into Merriman. And Edwards out of this race as Merriman able to continue. Sure if that car's sustained damage or he had to go ahead and let those cars around. You see Rowley rolling out there, maybe trying to pick up a couple of spots here with all the cars dropping out of the race. Currently shows 17 cars. I think Rowley will make 18. So white flag lap moves to lap 39. Kevin Hanley, your leader. Colton Hardy up 9 spots to second. Kuhn, Williams, and Paolo, your top 5. Zarfos up 10. Roberts up 12. He's in the top 10. This is a good reset here. We saw all of those cars doing battle. Everybody was, I don't want to say anybody was any quicker than anybody else. Seemed like everybody was running similar times. And now, with them all packed up, things are going to start to change. Business is about to pick up, as good old JR would say. Lights are out on the pace truck. We're going to go green off of turn number 4. Kevin Hanley has control of the field. 13 laps left. Past halfway now. Hanley. Not a great start there. Hardy was able to stay with him. Now Hardy with the slide job on Hanley. Hanley with the over-under. He's going to be able to pull right by him down the backstretch. You can see that big bump there as they go into turn 3. Hanley back to the bottom. He's got Dakota Kuhn there with him. Hardy on the outside. Hardy's going to try that slider once more up in front of. He gave just enough room for Hanley to squeak by. Cost him some time, but fair play for Hardy. Didn't want to make any heavy contact there. That allowed Dakota Kuhn by, but he's fighting back on the outside in the 152 as the caution flag waves once more. Shea Paolo Oh, unfortunate for the guy who was running top 5 there for quite a while. You can see Paolo here in the middle of the track. He and Zarfos doing battle. Ah, there it was. We talked about it early on in the night. See, down the backstretch, that entrance right here sticks out, and he caught his right rear on it. Rough ride there. Looked like Hannigan got some of that as well. Hopefully not too much damage. We'll see if we can catch up with him here. See Cooper with some front end damage. No damage for Hannigan. Every once in a while you get lucky. This is a video game. Get some ghosting action going on to lessen the possible damage. So Paolo, problems out front. Unfortunate there. He was doing quite well in his first race for Elbows Up Sim Sport. He said that was a fun ride in VR. That's enough to make you sick right there, I'm sure. Hanley, Hardy, Kuhn, Williams, Zarfos, top 5. Roberts, he's got 2 more spots. He's up to 8th. Lap 42 becomes our white flag lap. Going green next time by. We're going to have 11 green flag laps left. Let's watch this start this time. Hanley didn't have a great start last time. Allowed Hardy to stay close, and then Hardy put the slide job on him going down into turn 1. Had near contact the next lap as well, so Hanley's going to want to get a much better start here. And he doesn't really accomplish it. A little better than last time, but Hardy is still right there. He's going to go right to the top of the racetrack. Now, this is a good time right here. Let's go back to that cockpit view. I want you to listen to the throttle control that Ernie Williams Jr. exhibits here on this very complicated racetrack. You hear him lift. Oh, there's a big lift there. He got a little sideways there on the cushion, but you hear him off the gas as he slides up to the cushion. You see all the kind of problems these guys are dealing with here, but he was lifting off the gas, sliding up to the cushion where he was able to stand back in it. Problems out front. Zarfos, Hardy, Roberts, Click. Goodness gracious. Zarfos, who started mid-pack in this race. Let's back it up. You can see him on the bottom of the track battling out with Dakota Kuhn. We were watching Williams, who was having all kinds of problems there through 1 and 2 and down the backstretch. Hardy gets sideways, knocks Kuhn into Zarfos, and then takes all 3 of them. Weston Newell got a little bit. Kuhn was able to get that car straight. Let's see here how much Newell gets. Heavy damage to the front, and he collects Roberts. A lot of fast cars damaged right there. But while we were on board, so I was trying to spit it out as all that action happened, we were on board with Williams. And we heard him lifting off the throttle, allowing that car to get into the moisture. Once he got his right rear in the moisture, he started to pick it up. But also, what started that whole crash was Colton Hardy getting loose on the cushion in turn 4, which that happened the lap before, and you were able to see Williams have to lift off the gas to make sure that he didn't wind up in the back of that 142. Well, the next time, Hardy was unable to catch it, and he went down the track into the 95, which started that whole incident. Now, as we reset, you look who's in second spot. That is Nick Cooper in the 135, who was the quick qualifier here in race number 1 tonight. Weston Newell up 11 spots. Dylan Workman and Williams hard charging there, making their way into the top 10. Mason Hannigan hanging around. Ernie Williams still in 4th. We saw a lot of contact with the wall there, but maybe that car's not in too bad of shape here. White flag lap is lap 45. So we are winding down here. Let's see what Nick Cooper has. First time he's going to have a shot at the rear of that 110. Hanley trying to hold on to it. Not too much left in this race, but he's got fast cars behind him. Great start from Hanley this time. Got a good jump on the 35 of Cooper. Weston Newell on the bottom of the track. Going to try to make his way under the 35. They're really close off of turn 2. Weston's got that position. See Williams working that slider line once again. Mason Hannigan on the back of Ernie Williams now. Ooh, Newell and Cooper making a little bit of contact. Hannigan rolling the middle. Dakota Kuhn trying to find his way back forward. Cooper has secured that second spot once again. Hanley is still right there. Great run up at turn 4 for Cooper. The race for the lead starting to heat up here in the waning laps of the DOB 360 Sprint Car Series. Williams Grove, race 9 here. Now he's got a big run off of 4. This time he's going to take the lead. Drag race down the front stretch. Cooper to the lead. Here comes Hanley once more. Hanley in the middle of the track, unable to get any traction. Give the race lead to the man who had quick time and had to fight his way forward in this feature. Nick Cooper now in control of this race as the laps wind down. You can see him back to the bottom, goes Cooper there through 3 and 4. Hanley's going to have to try something different. Cooper protecting that inside, trying to hold on to the race lead. Now he goes to the high side. You see that car stand up a little bit on entry. He's into the fence. He's got to be really careful here. 3 laps left in this race. Hanley's still right there. Ernie Williams trying to make his way into this battle. Hanley got a little bit there of the turn 2 wall. Hannigan up to 4th. Weston Newell now in 5th. Nick Cooper in control and pulling a gap on that 110. Hanley led most of this race and now finds himself in 2nd. He's doing everything he can to make a run here on that 35 car of Cooper. White flag is out this time. Nick Cooper on the high side. 4 corners left, and he's going to pick up his first win of the season. Hanley on the throttle on the high side. Cooper working the bottom. Right on the inside of the guardrail. Cooper now to the top. Hanley to the bottom. Who's going to take it off of turn 4? Nick Cooper down the front straightaway. He's going to win the DOB 360 Sprint Car Race. 2nd place to Kevin Hanley. 3rd place, Ernie Williams. 4th place, Hannigan. 5th place, Weston Newell, who comes up and congratulates Nick Cooper. Big win here in race number 1. Belonging to the 35 car. He was fastest in qualifying. Had trouble in his heat. Had to make his way forward in this race. You see the nose of that car. It looks like it's been in a war. But victory lane is where it's going to find its end here in race number 1. We're going to get everybody in Discord here to try and get some interviews with the top 3. Remember, we've got an entire other race coming right next. Going to get a second lobby going, and we'll get going with race number 2, a completely separate championship. Let's pull Ernie Williams Jr., your third place finisher here, into the broadcast booth. Ernie, that was a complicated race for you there. We saw you up in second spot early on before some contact knocked you back, and you had to fight your way back forward. Talk about that race.
Anytime I come to Williams Grove, it's a rough race for me. This track's very tricky for me. And all in all, I mean, my car, I probably had a top 5 car overall, probably more like 5th, 6th maybe. It's a tricky track to run, even down the straightaways, man. People get into each other, and I probably got a couple spots like that. But all in all, we'll take the 3rd place. Like I said, this ain't one of my favorite tracks, but
anytime you get contact like that and you got to do some battling, you're pretty happy to get back forward there. You talked about how complicated the track was. We know that this place will develop bumps off of turn 4. We saw Colton Hardy get bit by the cushion there through 3 and 4, which took out a lot of guys right in front of you. And we were on board with you the lap before where you had to lift to make sure you didn't end up in the back of the 152. So talk about how complicated the track was and what you were trying to do to mitigate the damage out there.
yeah, when you're going into the corners, you're going in such a high rate of speed, and it's more hair clip corners. I mean, you got to make sure you pay attention, because sometimes guys, when they run the bottom, they got to get off their gas so much earlier than you do, so you don't want to hit them going in. And yeah, as the track goes on and wears, man, the bumps get to you. And like I said, my car started going away a little bit towards the end, and I was just basically just making sure I was staying off anybody. And like I said, before that last wreck, I was probably running 5th, 6th. You know what I mean? I was happy with that. So them two got into each other and let me get in the 3rd. I mean, I'm extremely happy for that.
Not too bad getting that Black Diamond car back up to the podium. Ernie, congratulations on that 3rd place finish, and we wish you luck in race number 2.
All right, thanks, man. Let me give a shout out to Tim Nichols. I seen he come on with DOB sponsorship for the rest of the season. Give a shout out to you, Anthony, for putting on the broadcast. I know that one's probably a rough one, but we appreciate that you do it for us and everything, man. And hopefully we'll see you this next race.
I appreciate that. Ernie, good luck going forward, my friend. We got another 30-lap feature coming here momentarily. Don't have any of the other 2 top finishers in Discord, so that's probably going to be it for the interviews here. Hey, Braden, how's it going? Adam Elby in the chat as well, wondering if his points lead will hold. We had a lot of cautions, a lot of fast cars ended up at the back there, but still going to be tough there. I believe there's a lot of those Swindell Speed Lab drivers running the special modified race here tonight. Big money modified race going on this evening, I do believe. So I'm going to transition here to intermission mode. Don't go anywhere. We've got another complete race event coming your way here momentarily. Going to get started in the other lobby. We will also restart the Facebook feed on the DOB page. So if you're watching on the DOB page, there will be another video going live here momentarily. If you're watching on Twitch or anywhere else, don't go anywhere, because we are going to continue into race number 2. Elby says he ran from 12th to 4th in his main and made the big show for tomorrow. Congratulations. That's an excellent run there. A lot of those Swindell Speed Lab drivers do double duty in the World of Outlaw Late Model Series. Started running a lot more sprint car races here recently. And as you can tell, even in the modifieds, those guys doing quite well. Chris mentioning in Discord that the race winner should be coming. So hopefully we'll get to talk to Nick Cooper here momentarily. So if you're watching on the Dirty Old Bastards Facebook page, Come back to us in the next video. It's going to go live here momentarily. Everywhere else, we are staying live. Good break for the announcer here to hold on to his voice for the rest of the night. We saw plenty of racing action that was unexpected. So God knows I'll be screaming my head off at some point later. We are back live on the DOB Facebook page. Appreciate everybody staying up late with us. Almost 10:30 here, Eastern time. A little longer than we normally run for race number 1, but we talked about all those cautions that we had. Waiting on the next lobby to open up here. Race number 2 normally is limited to fewer cars. We talked about having 60 entries in race 1. I do believe that they limit it to 50 for race 2. I have no doubt that we will max that out once again. A lot of the participants hang out with us here in the Twitch and Facebook chats. Feel free to chat with us all through the night. We have a lot of fun here. Try to make it an interactive show for everybody. So we got Nick Cooper in the broadcast booth. Nick, got a big win there in race number 1 under your belt. I know you probably were wondering if you were going to get back out front. Started out the night as the quick qualifier and had to do a lot of work there in the feature, but in the end, you were the man on the top step of the podium. Tell us about that race and how it feels.
Yeah, I was struggling a little bit early on, but got knocked around a couple times, but the car felt good and we're able to get back up there.
How complicated was it to make those moves on that track? We saw Colton Hardy come off the cushion at one point and make contact with a couple other cars. There were plenty of guys that were really, really struggling, losing control multiple times. Were you struggling with that as well, or was that car kind of really hooked up and you were able to do what you wanted?
I was definitely struggling with it. It was getting to where it would kick you off of it, or you hit it too hard to go up over the wall. So I had to definitely learn it, how to run it, and thankfully I did after late in the race, and it helped me out. So I feel bad for Colton that I almost did that a couple times, but you got to be careful. That cushion will bite you.
What do you expect here in race number 2 from this track? Because we saw a lot of guys struggling, a lot of cautions. You think we're going to see the same for race number 2? We know we go to a night race, normally get a little more moisture, but what do you expect from race number 2? You going to be able to go for the clean sweep here on Tuesday night, or what do you think?
I don't really know. I think night races will hold moisture better, but it's going to be a chess match of what happens with the track. But like every other track here, it's always different. So it's going to be a learning curve for everybody again.
Well, you're a fast driver. You're no stranger to the front of the field, but it's got to feel good to come home with a DOB victory. We talk every week about how tough it is to win with these guys. Tell us about how it feels to take that victory and have that confidence going forward.
It definitely feels really good. Like I said, a lot of people know I've been struggling in the late model series with the pro guys, and this helps my confidence a little bit. But there's a lot going. I want to thank Sim Sport, Slick Sim Sport for all they do for me and getting the cars ready to go, and Thigh Designs and Down Under Graphics.
There you have it, Nick Cooper, your winner of race number 1. Nick, congratulations and good luck in race 2.
Thank you.
Big win in race number 1 for Nick Cooper. We're going to be watching to see what he can pull off in race 2. He was quick time in race 1. If he can duplicate that, that's a big help at Williams Grove. Obviously, there's still work to be done even at that point. I do believe, of course, you get the invert. So the top 4 get inverted. I think he ended up second in his heat race, which left him with a little bit of work left to do. But that's the big start, where you got to start right there, with having a good qualification run, being able to find yourself in a good spot in the heat race. You got to have, because if you make contact, how many fast cars did we see make contact in the heat and then end up deep in the mains? The only one we saw climb through the mains was Chris Roberts. So that it just shows how hard it was to pass. You saw all of those guys losing control of their cars. You had all kinds of crashes that you can get caught up in. So those guys that start up front, even though they're not guaranteed to finish up front, it's still a huge advantage going into the race here for the Race 2 Championship. Now the lobby is up. We're loading in right now. Another 30-lap feature on the way. Four minutes left in the warm-up here for race number 2. Sardul asking about the DOB Discord. Let's see if I can get you an invite here. Not going to work in chat for me. That's unfortunate. See everybody getting laps here in hot laps. Michael Sheridan currently P1. James Tiernan third quickest. Nick Cooper second quickest right now. So we got a few new drivers, a lot of the same names as well. Let's talk about the Race 2 Championship here. That is your current standings. After race number 4 at the Eldora Speedway, Chris Roberts currently sitting as P1 in the championship standings. Ernie Williams Jr. second. James Tiernan, who was leading the championship, missed last week, so that dropped him back to third. Jeremy Zarfos and Mason Hannigan rounding out your top 5 in points. Now, we also have to get to the strike system as well in the Race 2 Championship. It is G.J. Boydell, Kyle Jenkins, Derek Layton, Billy Rowley, Peyton Grease, Brian Johnson, Colton Hardy, and Cole Cabra. I screw that up every time. Cole Cabray. Those are the gentlemen who have half a strike right now. Mason Hannigan, Bruce Wright, Dustin Griffiths, and Jason Nygaard. Of course, Nygaard suspended. All have 1 strike. Sean Wallenfels has a strike and a half, and Blake Cannon at 2.5 strikes. Do believe he's doing the modified race tonight. So those are your guys in danger of a 3-strike suspension. 1 minute left in hot laps here for race number 2. Following John Helms, who's currently 15th quick, sorry. On board with Billy Rowley. Getting a good crash out of his system there. Running into the upside down Helms. Wallenfels 4th quick. Tiernan still 3rd quick. Michael Sheridan. His car getting reset at the moment, but that 15 Dave Blaney Racing Machine has the quickest time in hot laps right now. Looks like 39 cars signed in right now as hot laps end. Nope, that is wrong. We've got some more guys who just got in too. Looks like Blake Cannon has made his way in. Ryan Pace. Oh, wow. Apparently there was something wrong with my list because we have a ton of cars. Full 50, no doubt. So here we go, qualifications, 2 laps to get your starting position. Watching Aaron Schaefer right now in his DOB machine. Themed for our most recent holiday, plenty patriotic on that 77. Weston Newell, early P1. Billy Rowley takes that away from him. 9th for Aaron Schaefer. Rowley, quick time right now at 17.957. This is lap 2 for the Team SETI driver. Not as quick. He moves to 2nd spot as Colton Hardy goes P1, but then Hardy is bumped as Nick Cooper once again. He was quick time in race 1. Now with the 17.891, he takes the fastest time for race 2 so far. Second lap is slower. He will not improve. Cooper, Hardy, Rowley, your top 3. Weston Newell, Tiernan rounding out the top 5. Kyle Weldon still getting his lap in as time expired. He's going to go 43rd. Blake Cannon did not get a lap in as well. Cannon's one of those guys who likes to get a qualification lap in, but not necessary many times. We've seen him come from the rear of the field so many times. Great driver when racing from the rear of the field. So heat race number 1 on the track, getting ready to roll. 5 heat races here in race 2 competition. 10 laps the distance. Top 4 will advance. On the pole in the 21, we saw him doing some quick laps in hot laps. He hit the invert here tonight, qualifying 20th, which put him on the pole of the first heat. And to his outside in the 346, we watched him pass a lot of cars in Race 1 competition. It's Cameron Merriman. Alex Smolders and Nick Cooper make up row number 2. Aaron Schaefer and Alex Bison, row 3. David Flick and William Duvall, row 4. And Nicholas Cheever rounding out your field in 9th. There's a lot of fast cars in this heat. And, I mean, of course, heat race number 1 is the fastest heat. But goodness gracious, this is ultra competitive right here. Going to see some good racing. Keep an eye on Nick Cooper. Winner from race 1. Quick time in race 1. Quick time in race 2. At 35, going to look to repeat and earn the sweep here tonight. A lot cooler temperatures for race number 2, about 11 degrees cooler. That's going to have an effect on these engines. We're going green this time. John Helms out front. He's going to squeeze in front of Merriman, working the high side. Nick Cooper already around Smolders for 3rd. And he's going to close up on the back of Merriman, who had to lift there to make sure he didn't get into Holmes. See, Smolders got around just for a moment before Cooper pulled the dive maneuver to get back in that 3rd spot. Alex Bison right now is in 5th. He's the guy that's going to try to get around Smolders, but he takes him out. Racing for the transfer position was Bison. Makes contact with Alex Smolders. And Smolders is out of this race. You can hear him off the throttle. He got in the corner much better than the 311. But was unable to keep it off of his competitor. End of line penalty, whether he was in last or not. 8th position is Bison. Smolders is off the track. Move Schaefer into 4th spot, your final transfer position. Flick and Duvall, the guys on the outside looking in right now. Merriman, your race leader. Quick qualifier, Cooper currently in 3rd. See if he can make a few more positions. Remember, with 5 heat races, every car that Cooper passes, that's 5 positions in the feature. The winner of heat race number 1 will start on the pole, and there is no denying the advantage that gives that man in the 30-lap feature later tonight. Cameron Merriman has control of the field. We're going green off of turn number 4, working lap 6 here in heat race number 1. Here we go. Great start for Merriman. Able to pull a little gap there from Helms. Cooper, close enough to make a move. Here he goes to the bottom of the racetrack. Big slider nearly jumps Merriman as well. A lot of traction there. I don't think he was expecting it to go that well, but it did. You saw him lift and give those boys room. Fair racing here in the late stages of heat race number 1. Ooh, problems at the back of the field. Was that Bison? Yes, it is. No caution. He's off the track. Merriman pulling the gap out front, but problems while we were watching that. Not problems, actually. Nick Cooper made a move around the 21 and actually got by Merriman for the race lead for a moment. 2 laps left in this race. Nick Cooper getting awful racy. He's down to the inside there. Takes second spot away from Helms, who finds the fence. He gets it straightened out. White flag in the air for Cameron Merriman. Wow, you saw Helms really have to get out of the throttle there as those two pitched the car into turn 1. Merriman's got a huge gap. No mistakes here. He's going to take the race victory. Cooper looking at a slide job from Helms. Helms pulls out of it. So give Cooper second spot once more. Helms third. And it is Aaron Schaefer coming home with the final transfer position in 4th. Race winner Cameron Merriman going to start on the pole for tonight's feature. Much better position than he had in race number 1. Cooper using the low line like a Hot Wheels track. He was able to get a lot of traction down there. Track's still in pretty good shape right now, but heat race number 2 loading in. And that's Zarfo's car. Freaking beautiful. Alzheimer's awareness. Brought up by Race to Raise. That Dave Blaney Sim Team machine. Those guys want to do pretty good. Especially when they roll into Pennsylvania. Williams Grove, the lone Pennsylvania track right now, but I do hear iRacing working on another famous Pennsylvania track. Not sure if I'm at liberty to say. So heat race number 2 on the track. Top 4 will advance. On the pole in the number 22 Team SETI machine, it is the Tropical Storm Mason Hannigan. And to his outside, it is Jeremy Zarfos. Dustin Griffiths and Colton Hardy make up row number 2, while Michael Sheridan and Ernie Williams Jr. row 3. That's a brand new scheme on Sheridan, too. Look at that. Fantastic. Gregory Tilson and Bruce Wright, row 4. Blake Cannon, watch him. Swindell Speed Lab driver, fresh off his modified race, starting at the rear. Mason Hannigan. Going to give these boys green here off of turn number 4. Here we go. Zarfos got a good start. He's got the outside there. You can see Hannigan with the slider. Gets to the cushion, but Zarfos going to try it. Problems in the back. Sheridan. Caution flag waves. That car's tracking sideways. It's toast. See what happens here. God, that's a beautiful race car. Those Blaney machines. I don't know who's painting their stuff, but I like them. You see Sheridan slides up into Griffiths and Hardy. Serious damage to the rear end of that machine. Dustin Griffiths. Doesn't look like he got too much damage there. Man, the big winner in that. Ernie Williams was able to get the 4th, but look at Blake Cannon. 5th spot from 9th, sorry. Sardul talking about making it to the B main through heat race number 1. First time for him. Congratulations. Going to have a shot making the A here. Zarfos, your race leader. Hannigan, Hardy, Williams have the transfer spots. We saw Hannigan in the race lead. So it looks like the caution flag came out at the right time as Zarfos was trying to make his move. Not likely, usually hit the wall. Well, hopefully you don't tonight. So we're going to go back green here on lap 5. Zarfos has control. Hannigan, Hardy, Williams can be right on his bumper. Heat race number 2 back underway. Great start for Zarfos. Mason under fire from Hardy already, who got a great slide job there in 1 and 2. Nearly made contact with Zarfos. Those sliders really make a lot of distance. Now Blake Cannon from last place in this race. He's looking to put a slider on Williams for the transfer spot. Near contact there with his teammate Hardy. He's able to pull out of that maneuver enough to stay out of those 2 cars. We saw how fast Hardy was in race 1. A little bit of contact there with the 91. That opens the door for Cannon. Cannon now into a transfer spot. And the Black Diamond machine, driven by Williams, on the outside looking in at the moment. Hannigan dropping back now. Hardy able to make the maneuver. He's not done, though. Back to the inside goes the 22, and the 39's going to go with him. Big slider in. Cannon makes the move stick, but then Hardy back around the inside. And now Hardy's going to put a slide job on the 22 once more. Ooh, he got on the cushion, nearly caught the right rear of Hannigan. We almost had another crash that was really similar to the race 1 accident that took him out of the race. Oh, but problems for Hardy there. Caution flag waves. That's going to end the heat race because the white flag's going to fly under yellow. You can see him hop the cushion there, come back across into his teammate Cannon. Wow, that's worst case scenario there. Cannon made his way forward into a transfer spot. Both he and Hardy make contact, keeping both of the Swindell Speed Lab drivers out of the A main feature and relegating Blake Cannon all the way back to 8th. So the checkered flag is going to fly. Jeremy Zarfos is going to win this race. 2nd place belongs to Mason Hannigan. 3rd place to Ernie Williams Jr. And 4th place to the 82 of Dustin Griffiths. Saw Williams losing that transfer spot, but then after the contact between Cannon and Hardy, he earns it back. Heat race number 3 going to hit the track now. Look at that beautiful throwback machine there. Cole Newhoffen in the old school Steve Kinser 11. Little modernized is that machine. Paint by Tuna Can car. Bill Rocky trying to get home in time, just didn't happen. Yeah, Garrett, DOB actually keeps the humidity down to 1%. That's where you see the difference. All right, starting lineup on the pole in the 059. It is Trey Long, and to his outside in the 57, Craig Dunn. The aforementioned Cole Newhoffen in the 11. It's actually 008 in the sim. Inside row number 2 with the 79 of Bad Luck Billy Rowley to his outside. Wallenfels in the 42, inside row number 3 with Bo Brunig, who had a lot of trouble there in race number 1. And Chris Roberts and Kyle Jenkins make up row number 4, with Kyle Weldon rounding out the field. 10 laps the distance. Top 4 will advance. Got some love for the Aussies. Old Dunn, popular driver out there on the track. He's going to start on the outside of the front row. We'll see what he can do. Yeah, Weston, we've had great racing here tonight. Just many accidents slowing everything down. Trey Long keeping it pretty slow there on the start. It gets him a good jump on Newhoffen, but not on Dunn. Long with the slider. Let's see if Dunn can make a run here off of turn number 2. He's trying. He's got Billy Rowley following him. Newhoffen in 4th. Rowley goes to the bottom. No slider there from Rowley. He's going to leave Dunn some room. Those 2 cars, team cars on Team SETI. Newhoffen. He's a Kinzer Sim team driver. Working the inside of Rowley. He's going to take 3rd spot off of the 79. Rowley fighting back on the outside. That top side right now is the fast way around. But you can see the slide jobs are coming in. Problems for Wallenfels, who makes contact with Kyle Jenkins. We stay green. Wallenfels drops back to 7th. Here comes Newhoffen to the inside of Dunn for 2nd. Trey Long making a gap here. Nearly 3 wide there off of turn 4. Billy Rowley holding on to 4th spot in the final transfer. Right now it's Bo Brunig in 5th. Brunig having to battle with Chris Roberts. Roberts, of course, ran the alphabet soup to near perfection. Wow, Rowley with the move on the outside. I don't know how he fit that in there, but he made that pass stick. Give him 3rd spot back. Newhoffen working the bottom of the racetrack. He's able to pull back close. Rowley looks to be a little bit quicker than Dunn right now, but unable to make a move so far. Those 2 cars both starting to catch the race leader, Long. Long was actually building a gap there, but now he is falling back into the clutches of the 2 SETI machines, running in 2nd and 3rd. Rowley, middle of the track right now. Newhoffen makes his move back to the top side. And he closes the gap on the 79. Now Trey Long goes a little lower. That opens the door for Dunn down the backstretch on the outside. Craig Dunn to the race lead. And Rowley's going to follow him through off of turn 4. Here comes Newhoffen around Long from 1st to 4th in 1 lap. Long starting to struggle here late in this race. Newhoffen back to battle Rowley. All 3 of those cars choosing the top side right now. 2 laps left. This is a great battle here. And remember, the winner of this race will start inside row 2. Fantastic starting position for the 30-lap race that we will be having here once these heats and soup mains get finished. White flag in the air for Craig Dunn. Just 2 corners left here, and he will end up with that 3rd place starting position. Rowley trying to do everything in his power to catch that car, unable to do it. Newhoffen tries the slider. He's going to finish 3rd. Trey Long had problems, and Chris Roberts will come home in 4th. Not sure what happened to Trey Long, but he is off the racing surface and out. Unfortunate for a guy who led a lot of that heat race and will now be relegated to a 7th place finish. Alex Stodinger in chat, helping me out there. I'm pretty good at mispronouncing names, Alex. I appreciate the help. Great racing there in heat race number 3. Now, see, Dustin's just trying to cause me problems. The man himself says Stodinger. So, your starting lineup for heat race number 4, Ryan Pace in the 34 on the pole with the 80 of Joshua Steinke to his outside. Steinke, defending series champion here in the DOB 360 Sprint Car Series. Kevin Click, the 25 Team SETI machine to the inside of row 2 with his teammate Weston Newell to the outside. Dylan Workman in the 75 inside row number 3 with Jordan Hack, who was very quick in the race 1 proceedings. And rounding out your field, it is Brian Johnson and Mason Muskevich. Let's go with Muskevich. That's got to be it, right? I think that was the one Weston was making fun of me on by saying it was a Czech name. Ryan Pace going to give this race life here. 10 laps the distance. Top 4 will advance. Good start there for Pace. Steinke's able to stay close, though. Into turn 1 goes to 34, sliding in front of the 80. Here comes Steinke. Team SETI machines battling it out behind them. Everybody on the top side of the track. Dylan Workman, the first car, working the middle. Nearly got around Click there. Almost contact there off of turn number 4 as well. New paint scheme on that 80. Steinke working the high side. Throw a blanket over the top 5, top 7, really. Fantastic here. Did heat race number 4. Everybody running nose to tail. Now starting to get a gap there between Click and Workman. That's your final transfer spot. Behind them, Jordan Hack on the outside trying to keep Brian Johnson back. Johnson to the bottom with the slider, and we saw up front Joshua Steinke trying to put a move on Ryan Pace, unable to do so far. Going to work the middle line there through 3 and 4. Bottom still pretty fresh in 1 and 2. Unable to pull level with the 34 of Pace. Might need a mistake out of that leading machine before Steinke can put anything together. See him pulling side by side with the 34. Race for the lead, heating up here in heat 4. Battling for that outside second row starting position. I think Steinke's got a decent run here. Let's see if he makes something happen with it. To the bottom of the track goes the 80, sliding up. Unable to clear him. But side by side with the top 2 there. It's still Newell and Click. Great race for the lead here between Pace and Steinke. Pace really hasn't put a wheel wrong yet. Just kept him out front. Weston Newell has got around his teammate of Click here. Holding down 3rd spot right now. Big gap back to 5th, so no danger of the final transfer changing hands. White flag in the air. Coming off of turn 2. He's got 2 corners left. Ryan Pace looking to finish this heat race off. Steinke tries the bottom. It's not going to happen. Ryan Pace going to take the win with Steinke, Weston Newell, and Kevin Click rounding out your top 4. Dylan Workman, the man coming home in 5th, making his way to the B main, and Jordan Hack going to go with him. Final heat race of the evening loading in now. Heat 5 coming at you. Still getting pronunciation tips in the chat here on the Facebook chat. What's going to happen is you guys are just going to have to get more simple names. So Alex Stoudinger is going to turn into Alex Billy Bob, and that's just what we're going to call him. 10 more laps. 4 drivers battling for A main berths. Boo! You can't boo Billy Bob. Don't boo Billy Bob. I know I had it right. I've had it right for forever. You guys have just been hearing it wrong. Starting lineup. On the pole in the 116, it is Kevin Gunther with Peyton Grease to the outside. Alex Stoudinger inside row number 2 in the 54 with James Tiernan to his outside in the 98. Cole Cabret in the 71 and Jason Randolph in the 047. And Jeff Floro and Dalton Hughes rounding out your field. We're going green this time by Kevin Gunther. Has control. Good start there for Gunther. Won the drag race down into turn 1. Stoudinger battling it out with Tiernan in contact. Both of those cars into the inside wall. No caution. But you can't get any worse luck than that. We saw how unlucky Tiernan was too. And look at this. Cole Cabret. Cabret, sorry. All the way to the race lead from 5th spot. We were watching the battle there as Stoudinger and Tiernan made contact, but with no caution. We missed the race for the lead. Where Cole went up and took it. Peyton Grease holding on to 2nd spot. You see Randolph into the fence there as Floro makes his way under him. That is your top 4 right now. Kevin Gunther, who was leading this race, currently in 5th. GS Sub pulling for Peyton Grease in the chat. Billy Bob. Do believe Stoudinger's still out there. He needs a yellow now, though. Same way with Tiernan, who has parked it. Too much damage on that car. Cabret, your race leader, Peyton Grease, trying to work the inside of the track. Peyton, known as the Shark. Back in my day, we called them bottom feeders. Likes that bottom. Yeah, James, that's it's an unfortunate deal, man. You're going to have to catch a break one of these times. Peyton still in 2nd. Floro in 3rd. Wow, nearly cut across the nose of Randolph there. Randolph to the inside, Floro into the fence. Now both of these guys backed up into the clutches of Gunther. We got a battle for the final transfer spot here. Gunther made up the gap, and now Randolph has got to do something. He's trying to get around Floro to give himself a little bit of a reprieve. Not going to happen sideways through turn 2, too far, allows Gunther around the outside, and now Gunther sets his sights on Floro. Jason Randolph has to come up with something. White flag is out. Out front, Cole Cabre is going to take home the victory. Peyton Grease in second. We're watching the final transfer battle right here. Kevin Gunther has it. Jason Randolph wants it. The 047 to the inside. Oh, contact down the front. Randolph into the fence. He flipped across the line. Randolph is going to take fourth. And fifth place goes to Kevin Gunther. I don't think he's going to be happy with that. I don't think that Randolph really meant to do that, but he slid up the track and initiated contact there, and that took Gunther out of a transfer spot. He went from the A main to the B main in half a straightaway. Going to be some hurt feelings and some upset people after this race tonight, which is pretty damn standard when you're talking Williams Grove, I gotta say. Garrett, you're going to have to get back out there, man. Wife done said she's going to pick you up a rig. You got to make her happen. Uh-oh, got some shade in the Facebook chat. We got a wild wheeler lurking in chat there, Weston. Trey Long unable to make the call here. For the C main. Let's talk about our starting lineup. On the pole in the 011, it is Nicholas Cheever. And to his outside in the 152, Colton Hardy. Inside row number 2 will be Alex Stodinger. Moving up a row, thanks to Trey Long not being there. And to his outside in the 121, Brian Johnson. Blake Cannon inside row 3 with Alex Bison. Mason Muskevich and Kyle Jenkins row 4. Alex Smolders and James Tiernan row 5. And rounding out your field will be Kyle Weldon and Michael Sheridan. A lot of fast cars in this C main. Look at the rear of that field. Tiernan, Sheridan, Smolders. Are you kidding me? And they're going to have to find a way around Cannon and Stodinger and Hardy. Boys, this one's about to get wild. 10 laps, top 4 advance. We have got one hell of a race on our hands. Nicholas Cheever bringing him down. Green is out. Oh, problems for Johnson. Makes contact with Stodinger. He's able to save that. Oh, and then contact from behind once more. Really rough start for Stodinger. Bison was into the outside wall there. You see Sheridan. He's already up to 6th. Michael Sheridan and James Tiernan. James Tiernan's 4th. How in the world? One lap. James Tiernan went from 9th to 4th. And he's still going forward. Kyle Jenkins made contact with Johnson. He's sideways on the backstretch. Out front, the 152 makes his way around Nicholas Cheever. And James Tiernan's going to try to follow him. 98 of Tiernan is on a rail. Started at the back of this pack. He's made his way up to 2nd. And he's hunting down the race leader, Colton Hardy. Big slide job there. Not going to be able to hold it this time. Ooh, that's problems back there is that Bison. And that's going to bring out the caution. Replay in. Stodinger with the slide job. Going to make contact with Bison's nose. I do believe Brian Johnson was mixed up in that as well. See what happened to Brian. He gets into the corner. Catches the inside wall there in turn 3. Both of those guys still on track, but relegated to the rear of the field. Bison actually does pull in. So we're halfway through this race. Colton Hardy out front. James Tiernan up 8 spots to second place. Nicholas Cheever now running in third. Alex Smolders up 7 into fourth. And Michael Sheridan up 7 into fifth. Sheridan right now, the odd man out. I tell you, one of the guys that caution flag probably helped was Stodinger, because he had all that contact that made him lose some time there. Weston calling out the moves from Sheridan. Very, very fast cars there coming from the rear of the field. We said there's a lot of fast cars starting in the back. Don't forget about Blake Cannon there as well. He had a transfer spot before contact with Colton Hardy in his heat race. Any one of those guys in that top 8 can make this thing happen. We're going to watch the race up front. James Tiernan's made his way to the front. Colton Hardy's going to try to hold him off. Couple laps left in this race. Top 4 advance. Here we go. Colton Hardy with a good start. James Tiernan on the high side. Smolders working the inside there. He's from the rear of this field as well. He started behind Tiernan. See Sheridan now into fourth. He holds that spot. Cheever now. Stodinger in fifth, trying to make his way around that 15. I think Cannon's following him through. There is so much talent in that top 6, but we can only take 4 to the big show. Tiernan still working the bottom, trying to make his way around Hardy, but that's going to open him up to Smolders on the backstretch. These guys are through to the A main if they can hold their position. They've got to start thinking, oh, problems between Cannon and Stodinger. White flag is out. There's not going to be a caution. That's going to give Sheridan a big gap there for fourth. Hardy in the race lead. Smolders going to come off in second. Tiernan third. And Michael Sheridan rounding out your field. See if we can get a replay here. Looks like I just was not able to clear him. Stodinger went up the racetrack, unable to clear the nose of Cannon. Just very light contact there, which caused a huge crash and ended both of their evenings in the C main here tonight. Yeah, we said we're going to have some hurt feelings here tonight. Probably include them boys in it. B main hitting the track now. Top 4 will advance to do battle in our 30-lap main event here tonight. All 4 of those fast cars from the C now starting at the rear of this field. Peyton Grease saying Stodinger is his new hero. Might you elaborate, my friend? Starting lineup on the pole. In the 56, it is David Flick. And is outside in the 920, Bruce Wright III. Sean Wallenfels to the inside of row number 2, Black Diamond driver. And is outside in the 75, Dylan Workman. Kevin Gunther and William Duvall II. Row 3 with Gregory Tilson and Bo Brunig, row 4. Jordan Hack and Dalton Hughes, row 5. And then our C main drivers, Colton Hardy, Alex Smolders, James Tiernan, and Michael Sheridan. I think I get what you guys are saying now. I've caught up. David Flick. He's got 12 laps to stay up front here. We'll see if he can do it. Bruce Wright III to his outside, giving him green. Rough start for Bruce. That opens the door for Wallenfels, who's going to take second. Workman trying to follow him through. Not going to happen. And now Wright battled back there on Wallenfels for just a moment. Let's take a look farther back here. Those C-Main drivers. Looks like Tiernan's the first one through. Problems for Gunther. Makes contact. Oh, and then Smolders. All kinds of... That was Bo Brunig involved. Gregory Thielsen. Caution flag waves. Let's back this up. All right, you see Thielsen come off the high side of the racetrack. See contact between Hardy there on the backstretch. Smolders and Brunig. Gunther hits Thielsen. He comes off the top. He hits Brunig, who hits Smolders, who goes back and hits Gunther. All kinds of issues there. And somehow, everybody survives. They got damage, but everybody's still on track. I'm impressed. All right. David Flick, Wallenfels, Wright, Workman, your top four. Jordan Hack, up 4 spots. James Tiernan, Michael Sheridan, both up 7. The boys from the C-Main are coming forward. I don't think so either, Weston. I know there's some hard feelings out there too, but I'm gonna stand up and say I'm a Blake Cannon fan personally. He had one race where he ended up with 2.5 incidents, strikes against him, which was a rough one. But other than that, he's not really had too much. I know there's been a lot of talk out there in Facebook land and some hard feelings, and we get that. We get a lot of contact here. We got fast race drivers, and them Swindell Speed Lab boys been winning a lot of DOB races, so that doesn't help. But, one of those deals. David Flick giving him green. Wallenfels now in second. Another rough start for Wright, who has Workman right on his back bumper. Going to watch Tiernan here too. He's got Jordan Hack in front of him. Sheridan behind him. These guys trying to make their way forward. Tiernan to the inside of Hack. Right. Contact there. Alex Smolders cannot catch a break. Let's watch right here. This is in turn 2. Problems are going to happen in 3 and 4. He catches the cushion wrong. It shoots him down the track into Sheridan. Hardy squeezes by. Smolders not so lucky. Big problems for Wright and Smolders. They're out. Top 4 has not changed. James Tiernan now 5th behind them. Hack, then Sheridan. Stodinger pointing out a little bit of drama there probably in the race chat. A little more to that incident than we initially seen. Couple corners before, I'm sure. Yeah, I think you can classify Smolders as an astronaut now after that crash. So James Tiernan now moves into 4th spot. He's got the final transfer right now. Hack and Sheridan are going to want to take that away from him. The lineup was a little skewed there for a moment because Smolders exited his car, which pushed him around the track in front of everybody. So I thought that Tiernan was the odd man out, but actually he's in right now. David Flick going to lead him down. We're going to have 2 laps of green flag action here. Good start over Wallenfels there. Workman in 3rd. Tiernan to the inside of Workman. Here comes Hack. Tiernan has come from nearly last. Sheridan's going to try the high side. Ooh, Tiernan, a little bit of contact there with Workman. Pushes him up the track. Here comes Sheridan. We got to watch Workman now. He's the final transfer. Hardy. Oh, that looked like there was contact with Hack. Workman goes over. That's going to put Colton Hardy into 4th. Now he's got Sheridan behind him. Tiernan to the inside. He's racing for the lead. Give Tiernan 2nd. David Flick's going to win the B main. 3rd place to Sean Wallenfels, and 4th place goes to Colton Hardy. I would really love another look at this turn 1 incident. There you saw it right there. Jordan Hack made a little bit of contact with the rear of Workman. Those boys were running for the transfer spot. You saw he had contact with Tiernan before him, and that was the end of his night. Ladies and gentlemen, remember that Wicked Energy Gum is a boost of energy, alertness, and focus in a chew. It only takes about 5 to 10 minutes to take effect and is a cheaper and healthier alternative to energy drinks and shots that fill you with calories and sugar. Wicked Energy Gum is made in the USA, and the best part of it all is that for every pack you buy, they make a donation to the Cognitive Warriors Foundation, who focuses on improving access to quality health care for active and former U.S. military men and women who suffer from depression and PTSD. Just go to wickedenergygum.com, use code DOBRL for 10% off your order and free shipping on race days. The DOBRL code also works on wickedreliefcbd.com for your daily dose of CBD as well. Appreciate everybody going out and supporting our sponsors, Wicked Energy Gum and Wicked Relief Gum with CBD. Make these broadcasts possible, and any help that you can give them with orders assists us greatly. Using that code DOBRL lets them know that the DOB sent you their way and the broadcast sent you their way, and that's what keeps the broadcast going. So we appreciate any help and support that you guys give them, because they do surely support us. 15 seconds left in the warm-up. Cole Cabre currently P1. Ryan Pace second quick. Nick Cooper third quick. Cooper, of course, going for the sweep. John Helms in the top 5. Peyton Grease turning in the third quickest lap there. And we are about ready for 30 more laps at the Williams Grove Speedway. Hey, we'll see you, Zardul. Thanks for joining us, my friend. It's fun to watch you. Garrett, he's dreaming about being at the racetrack, talking about the smell, the burning of the methanol and the tires, and the smell of the dirt. Most racers aren't hippies, but we all appreciate the smell of the earth as these 900 horsepower sprint cars pound them. Nygaard pointing out that nitro burns your senses when you go to the drag race and stuff. Never done that personally. Peyton, you were pretty quick in warm-ups. Cole Newhoffen calling his shots. He's saying he's going to the bottom of the track. Going to try to make his positions there. Let's talk about the starting lineup on the pole in the 346. It is Cameron Merriman. And to his outside, Dave Blaney sim team driver Jeremy Zarfos. Craig Dunn and Ryan Pace make up row number 2 with Cole Cabre and Nick Cooper, row 3. Mason Hannigan and Billy Rowley, row number 4, with Joshua Steinke and Peyton Greaves, row 5. John Helms and Ernie Williams Jr. in front of Cole Newhoffen and Weston Newell. Jeff Flaro and Aaron Schaefer, Dustin Griffiths and Chris Roberts, Kevin Click and Jason Randolph, David Flick and James Tiernan, Sean Wallenfels and Colton Hardy rounding out your field. Watch that Tiernan car from the back. There's going to be a lot of crashes to dodge, but we saw him make his way through multiple races from the back of the C main into this one, so we're going to keep track of that. Colton Hardy did the same thing. So we've got some fast boys starting in the back. Ladies and gentlemen, final race of the night. 30 laps the distance. Only one man going to stand at the top step of the podium. Cameron Merriman has the race lead right now. He's going to bring him off of turn 4. And we're going to get started with race number 2 here tonight at the virtual Williams Cove Speedway. Great start for Merriman. He's going to clear Zarfos. Craig Dunn. A 3-wide sandwich down the backstretch. He's the meat. He's got to let go. Give the spot to Cabre. Pace got into the fence, and then Dunn spun in front of him. Dunn was able to collect it. Pace, however, not so lucky. He collected Williams and Steinke, who both lose a lot of positions. Let's back this up. See Pace on the high side of the track. He's going to come off of turn 2 here. Those guys were 3 wide. You see Dunn. Pace got into the fence early, which allowed Dunn through, which cost him. Newell in that as well. We didn't see him. I want to look at the cockpit view of Ernie Williams, because he was quite forward in this field. Here he is in turn 1. You can see everybody fanning out. And they were 3 wide in multiple positions. See him wide open going into 3, and he could not get off the gas quick enough. No way to slow down and miss that crash. Jeff pointing out that turn 3 is a nightmare tonight. Dylan Workman still upset about that B main. Top 10 right now. Merriman, Zarfos, Cabre, and Hannigan. Top 4. Newhoffen moving his way forward. Helms moving his way forward. James Tiernan's up to 15th. From 22nd. So he's up 7 spots. Steinke and Ernie Williams Jr., the big losers there. Merriman gives them green off of 4. He's got Zarfos right to the inside of him. Cabre right there as well. Hannigan, who was fast in the first race. Right there again. Nick Cooper, who won race number 1, he's on the high side there in 5th. Oh, Merriman got the cushion wrong, and he lost the lead, and now Zarfos has that Swindell Speed Lab car to his inside. Cabray working the bottom. Zarfos up to the top of the racetrack. They're going to come off of 2 side by side, down into turn 3 as the caution flag waves. I have no idea what caused that caution. John Helms running quite well. He's going to find big problems. That was the reason for your caution right there. Got in, caught the cushion wrong, up into the fence. And night-night. Going to reset here. Zarfos, Cabray, Merriman, Cooper, Hannigan. Merriman losing the race lead. Cushion not kind to him there through 3 and 4. Newhoffen up 5. Grease up 3. Flaro now in the top 10. James Tiernan from 22nd to 12th. Keep an eye on that 98. Kevin Click's going with him too. Click moving forward as well. We're going to have to keep that in the back of our mind as we watch this battle for the lead shake out. White flag lap moves to lap 36. We're going green this time by. Zarfos has control. Cabray right behind him, and now Merriman in 3rd. Green is out. Great start for Zarfos, who's going to try to cut to the bottom there. Cooper with the move, unable to get the pass made on Merriman. Cabray, however, making it stick with Zarfos. Zarfos going to try to get under him. Merriman is making a run on the outside as well. Zarfos didn't get into one like he wanted, but Cabray hit the fence. Here comes Merriman. On the outside, Cabray on the inside. We'll see what kind of a run he can get here. Cameron lost the lead. He wants it back. Billy Rowley coming forward in this race as well. Cole Newhoffen making a charge. Caution flag is going to wave once more. We're going to see problems with Jeff Flaro here. See Flaro go into 1, making contact with Newhoffen. Newhoffen saves it. Flaro, on the other hand, does not. Brings out the caution here on lap 13. So he will tag to the rear of the field. That moves the white flag lap to lap 39. We could take a look at some of these big movers. Cabray now in the race lead. Merriman, Zarfos, Hannigan, Cooper all right there. Billy Rowley made up multiple positions there on that restart. Newhoffen up 5. Kevin Click up 10. Tiernan up to 11th. So Click made a couple more spots than Tiernan did there. But the charge to the front still on. There is the 25 of Click. See him right on the rear bumper of Newellhofen there. A lot of fast cars making their way forward in this race. And the leaders have been battling it out. Gonna go back green, working lap 16. Lap 39 will fly the white flag. Swindell Speed Lab flying their colors out front right now, but Merriman doesn't care very much for that. He just wants the race lead. Here we go. Great start for Cabré. See him shaking out there through the field. Zarfos to the bottom. He's going to get around Merriman. Caution flag waves once more. Hold on a second. Down the backstretch goes Cabré. He's gone. Caution flag come out, and he disconnected. I was trying to find out who was the cause of the caution, and then we lost our race leader. What in the world? Absolutely wild turn of events here, as the entire complexion of this race is altered with that restart and caution. Wow. Unfortunate for Cole Cabré, who is now out of this race after disconnecting. That changes the view up top. Zarfos, your race leader. Merriman, second. Hannigan, Cooper, done. Back to the top 5. Newellhofen, Rowley, Click, and Tiernan continue their charge. That 10th place car is Weston Newell, whose name is not showing up for us there. Newell is on his way forward as well. We're going back green. White flag moves to lap 42. Zarfos getting us going. He waits for Merriman to put a bumper to him, which gives him a great start. Hannigan trying to hold Cooper off. Dunn to the outside of the 35. Multiple lines of racing action. These guys still have plenty of options on this racetrack. You see Merriman on the top, trying to chase down Zarfos. Click to the inside of Rowley. Newellhofen right in front of him. Newellhofen said he was going to be on the bottom. He has not disappointed. Currently in 6th is Cole Newellhofen. Now working the inside of Dunn. Bringing Click with him. Rowley on the high side. Tiernan right behind these guys trying to battle it out. See Newellhofen there, clearing Dunn. Hannigan and Merriman now battling it out. Zarfos is gone. There's another race leader gone. I don't think he disconnected. He might have got into the fence and I didn't hear it. We didn't see anything. We've lost another race leader. Zarfos was leading this race. He's gone. Now the race for the lead belongs to Cooper and Merriman. We had no idea. Merriman over the cushion. Into the fence a little bit. He's now under fire from Mason Hannigan. Hannigan to the bottom of the track. You see Merriman working the high side, trying to get back into that race lead battle with Cooper. Newhoffen now up to 4th. Click and Rally battling it out behind them. I can't believe this. We've lost 2 race leaders. Something strange. Jeremy, if you hit the chat, dude, let us know. Did you get into the fence or did you lose connection there? Merriman once more over the cushion and into the fence. He's going to lose quite a few spots this time. That's Newhoffen trying to put him back into the 4th position. That car might have sustained damage this time. It's still fast. Billy Rowley had an issue as well. He's back to 16th. You see that car hopping around. Wow, they were 4 wide ahead of them. Tiernan in 11th. You can see Williams making his way back forward in this race. Colton Hardy, David Flick. Tiernan, a little bit of contact there with Hardy. These guys really struggling with this racetrack right now. Weston Newell doing battle with his teammate Click and Dunn as well. Team SETI well represented there. Race is on for 2nd place. Hannigan has it. Merriman trying to take it back. Newhoffen makes it 3 wide there off of turn 2. A little bit of contact there between him and Hannigan. Newhoffen has control of 3rd right now. Hannigan's right there. Mason, of course, son of Randy Hannigan. Driver of quite a few World of Outlaw moments, victories, and more. Caution flag waves here. Not what Nick Cooper wanted to see. Try to find out who was involved there. James Tiernan looks to be the man involved in that caution. Into the inside fence there going into turn 1, and Tiernan up and over. And now out of this race. Climbed his way from 22nd, was as high as 9th. But no longer a threat in this competition. White flag moves to lap 45. So we are winding these laps down. Nick Cooper, your race leader, he's up 5 spots. We said it. He was quick time in race number 1. Finished 2nd in his heat, and he won the A-Main. Race number 2 comes along. Quick time. Finished 2nd in his heat, and here he is in position to make a sweep of tonight's feature events. Merriman in 2nd, Newhoffen up 10 spots in 3rd. Kevin Click and Weston Newell still on their way forward. Colton Hardy up 15. Ernie Williams, after being relegated to the back of the pack with early contact, he's made his way up to 8th. Still a lot of racing left to do here. We're going to restart with 11 laps left. Cooper's going to lead him down. Merriman 2nd, Newhoffen 3rd. Who's going to get the best start here? Ooh, great start for Cooper. Merriman struggled, which backed Newhoffen up into the clutches of Hannigan. Those guys going to make it 3 wide through turns 1 and 2. Merriman didn't get the exit that he wanted. Newhoffen working the bottom like he said he was going to. You see Weston Newell trying to get to the inside of Click behind them. Top side of the track starting to get a little bumpy. We know this track likes to develop ruts on the straightaways. It's happening. David Flick was way sideways down the backstretch. Looks like he got that thing gathered up, but not before losing some positions. Ernie Williams up to 9th, fighting with Weston Newell. Merriman into the fence up there. Currently in 3rd. Looks like Newhoffen has made his way into 2nd. Cooper working the bottom of the track. We saw him use the top to get to the race lead in race 1, and then he went to the bottom and protected it. Similar means here. Merriman still battling it out. Ooh, there's that big Gopher Gulch. Nearly catching Newhoffen out there into turn 3. White flag will be on lap 45, 30-lap race, Jutter. So these laps are winding down. It just so happens that the DOB caution flag laps do not count. The league does not count caution flag laps. So they do it manually. So this race winding down. 6 to go. Cooper doing everything right at the moment. Williams battling it out for that top 5. Dunn has caught the back end of Hannigan, and Williams working him. Colton Hardy right there in this battle as well. He's in 8th. Ooh, Williams into the fence. Click trying to get under him. Hardy gets under him. Going to lose a couple of spots. Weston Newell right there. Those guys nearly 3 wide there in turn 3. Click able to clear the 2 of them. Craig Dunn still in 5th. Out front, Nick Cooper built a gap, but is it closing? Cameron Merriman on the high side of the racetrack, beating the wall down, trying to do everything he can to catch that 35, and I think he's doing it. Merriman was 3/10 quicker that last lap. And here he is once again. Let's see. A little slower that time. You saw him have that issue off before. Caution is out. Oh, wow. Caution flag waves with 2 to go. Are you kidding me? Weston Newell is the man who had an issue. Let's see. He was up there battling for a top 5. Caught off guard by a bump there to the inside of the track. The guardrail turned him around. And Weston's night goes from really good to not so great. All right. You know what that means. Green, white, checkered for all the marbles. Nick Cooper, your race leader. He won race 1 here tonight. Doing what he needs to do right now, but Merriman was closing that gap there before the caution flag flew. Newhoffen, Hannigan, Dunn, your top 5. Does Merriman have what it takes? He was fast in race 1. All kinds of problems. Getting mixed up in crashes and contact kept him from really flexing his muscles. He's got a chance now, though. Green, white, checkered in play. Nick Cooper going to give this race life off of turn number 4. Down to the nitty-gritty. Who's going to win race number 2 at the virtual Williams Grove Speedway? Merriman. Not a great start. Newellhoffen unable to pull to the inside. You could see Cooper. He saw that Merriman was catching him on the high side there in 1 and 2, so he went there. Back to the bottom in 3 and 4. White flag in the air for Nick Cooper. Looking for a sweep of the evening, but Merriman is closing in. Now, he hopped the cushion. Merriman lost that advantage. He loses second and third. Nick Cooper, 2 corners away from winning 2 races in one night. Here he comes off of 4. Cooper's going to win. Second place goes to Newellhoffen, and third to Cameron Merriman. Mason Hannigan with a late incident racing with Dunn. Let's look at this. Last corner, made contact with Newellhoffen, collected Dunn, Hardy, Steinke. All of those guys losing a lot of spots in the final corner there. Really unfortunate for Dunn there. There you have it, your top 3. Cooper, Newellhoffen, and Merriman. They put on a heck of a show for us there. We're going to get these guys in Discord so we can talk to them. I appreciate everybody staying up late with us watching this DOB action. Williams Grove was a wild host for us here tonight. A lot of cautions. But everybody hanging out with us, we really, really appreciate it. Let's bring some guys into the booth here. We got Cole Newellhoffen here, man who came home in second place. Cole, that was a battle. Talk to us about that race, because we saw contact, guys changing lines, doing everything that they possibly can. You had to come from a little farther back than most there. So what was that race like?
I just love this track. It's my favorite track on the game because I can actually run the bottom pretty consistently here. Nick obviously showed he can do better than me there, but it was still a really good race. I could have had a little more gear in the car for the end. I was just running out of gear on the straightaways. I could pull on exit, but then I just run out on the going into the corner. But it was good, just a little bit, still a little bit too loose. The middle came in 1-2. I hit that. It was there for like 10 laps, then it went away, and then kind of just had to. I think the top was better if you could hit it, but then on the straightaways it's so rough that you'd lose all your momentum. And if you ran the bottom and hit that good, you could pull on them on the straightaways because you'd have all the moisture in the world down on the bottom of the straightaways. But it was a really fun race.
We saw that from you once, actually, because it looked like you went down into turn 3 there and caught that little gulch that we got, which nearly shot you into another car. So, I mean, was this track did it slick off a little more than you thought, which is why the gear became an issue, or just one of those deals where it just wasn't quite what you wanted?
I didn't think the middle would come in 1-2 like it did. That's where it hurt me because I had to stay pretty much off the throttle completely and get on the brakes pretty hard and then to hit the middle right. But then once that went away, I just couldn't hit the bottom good enough, and I was just kind of rolling into it and was just barely on the throttle in the middle. But if the track would have stayed a little bit better, like right around the tires, I think that gear probably would have been good, but it just went away.
Well, from 13th to 2nd, that's not a bad run here at the virtual Williams Grove Speedway. Cole Newellhoffen, congratulations, my friend. Good luck going forward this week.
Yeah, I'd just like to thank my teammates at Kinzer Racing Sim Team. Dustin Griffiths for all the help he's been helping with lately, and thanks to Nick and Cameron for a really good race. Nick was gone, but me and Cameron were side by side for a couple laps. Congrats to him on the win, and thanks to our sponsors, Mozilla Light Transportation, Race on Texas, Wicked Cushion, profiled by Sanford DRC Chassis, and Southern Pacific.
There you
And
have
to you
it.
for broadcasting.
Thank you, sir. There you have it from the second place driver here tonight in race 2. Let's go to the man who won not only race 2, but race 1 as well. Sweeps the night, Nick Cooper, quick time and feature winner in both. So we're just going to crown you Williams Grove King, and that's the end of it all for the end of time. How does that sound?
Sounds pretty good to me.
So once again, you finished second in your heat. You had to climb forward a little bit. What was that? 6 spots you had to make up there, but you were able to make your way through that field. And once you got out front, it was basically smooth sailing from there.
I was kind of worried about Cameron there at the end, but to him creeping up, so I was like, where's he running? So, all in all, it was a good race. I didn't know where I was going to come out there at the end because struggling a little bit, trying to search for the line, but I'm glad just everything paid off.
Yeah, we saw some guys struggling out there, and then you talk about Cam coming up behind you there towards the end of that race, got a late yellow. I'm sure that had to worry you. We saw you change your line there through 1 and 2, as it seemed like he was starting to close the gap. Was that something you were looking to try and find the speed that he had there just to hold him back, or?
Just trying to find different lines and, kind of maybe set him off a little bit or something like that to, make him think, well, he's got to do something else just to slow him up. But, well as I planned, but because he was there at the end. But all in all, I'm still happy with how everything went out.
Yeah, I don't think you can ask for much more. It seemed to be a lot of work out there. Not the easiest thing to do, but to take quick time in both race victories, that's a pretty solid statement. You got to be pretty happy. And that's got to give you confidence going forward. We're going to see you around here in the DOB competition a little more, see if you can make some dents in this championship.
Yeah, I definitely plan on running it. Obviously, the real racing keeps me too busy, so I got to play it by ear, and hopefully I can run more of these. I definitely enjoy the slick tracks and it's just fun.
Well, we had fun watching you. Congratulations, Nick Cooper, double winner here tonight at the virtual Williams Grove Speedway. Well, let's talk to Cameron Merriman, the guy who was making the race interesting there. Cam, we saw you on the high side, on the cushion, over the cushion, in the wall, wherever you had to put it. You definitely made it exciting for us.
Yeah, well, I would have liked to run the bottom. I started the race trying to run the bottom, and I don't remember exactly who it was, but one of the fast guys, Cole or whoever, was sticking their nose down there, and I was getting worried about, crowding up in front of the whole field, so I ended up washing out early in 1 and 2 into the middle, and I was losing time. So I said, screw it. I'm not hitting the bottom. I'll run the top in 1 and 2. And as the track got worse and worse throughout the feature race, I became less and less confident in my ability to run the bottom. So I said, I'll just stick it up top. And like Nick said, he changed his line there at the end. He took the top in 1 and 2. And he said he did it to maybe throw me off, and look at what happened. I just plowed it right in the wall, right?
Well, it was very fast. Seemed like there's still some room up there on the cushion, but not a whole lot. We saw it bite a couple of guys. You were able to thread the needle there. Now, you had a real fast car in race 1, too, but that one didn't go quite so well. You had to work pretty hard to get where you needed to be in the feature, and then I believe it was some contact that ruined that for you. But this one went a little smoother. You're pretty happy with the top 3, even though you were beating on the door there for a race win?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, in the first race, I went and took a leak and grabbed a beer and realized that I only had 2 minutes to qualify, so I missed out on qualifying completely. And I started in the back of the heat, and then we got really jammed up in a great finish there, but I ended up having to shuffle back to the B and was really off my game in the feature with a lot of traffic. So I jumped in the second race, which I don't normally do. I said, screw it, I'm going in, and ended up sticking a nice qualifying, got lucky in the inversion, had a good heat race, and then obviously a great feature race with Cole and Nick. And Cole, while he was there for a little bit, it was a lot of fun.
Makes it a lot easier when you get to start up front, doesn't it? In these races, this is the DOB. This is some of the best competition that you get on the simulation. So the ability to start up front pays off, especially on a track like this. And you made it look like a lot of fun, my friend. Congratulations on that top 3 finish and giving us a little excitement up there on the high side.
Well, thank you very much, and your casting was great as always, and great race to Cole, and congratulations to Nick. And it was nice talking to you. Thank you very much.
Well, thank you guys. That's your top 3 here from race number 2, and that's going to do it for us tonight. Tomorrow night, we are back in action at 9 p.m. Eastern Time with the Wicked Energy Gum Midgets before we go into the 360 Wingless Sprint Series after that. So we've got plenty of fun left here on Elbows Up TV. And you can join us again tomorrow night at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. And then as well Thursday, don't forget, they've got the 410 Wing Sprint League as well. So every Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday night, we hope to see you here. We appreciate everybody hanging out with us and having fun throughout the night. And we hope to see you next time. Catch y'all later. Thanks.